Hey there, this is Heimdall's Watch, brought to you by Isolated City Gaming. This episode is brought to you by the $6.30 we found stuck between the couch cushions. Now, on with the show. We are on the boat. The body... Sorry, well, yeah,
most of us are on the boat.
We're boat or boat adjacent.
Those who are life...
You're on the boat.
Those who are life adjacent are on the boat.
Hey, I'm life adjacent. He's life
Actually, I suppose you're the life adjacent when we go off the boat. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, behind the boat, the last bits of the dragon turtle body is sort of sinking below the surface.
The carved out shell of the dragon turtle, because its head was completely obliterated by
quite an explosion.
By Puppet's sick beats.
His toot on the Vivisaur.
Right.
I'm now picturing it being like a dubstep drop. I think.
Oh, that is audio hell.
That can be our catchphrase.
Audio hell.
Yeah, so the last of the body sort of dropping below the surface, and sort of a dark trail of blood as it's glowing blood.
I feel like we should wait 18 seconds for something to happen.
Okay.
And what of my body?
Well, here's the thing. From your guys' perspective, the fight's just finished. You saw quite the explosion
And her.
above you.
Leland still has 40 hours of virulent magical paranoia.
Yep.
So you're just surrounded by turtles right now.
So the current position you've got is the boat is sort of drifting forwards. It had sort of most hands on deck had sort of taken to try and just get to safety and everything like that. So the boat is not going at full clip. The carpet floating above you is just sort of maintaining its position.
So I saw turtle head kaboom.
Yep.
And also kaboom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the last instruction that
The turtle got him! Oh god, the turtle got him!
Well, what you see is basically the carpet is just holding its last command, which is following along with the boat.
Well, that's convenient.
It's not stopped and being left behind. It's just
The turtle can explode us from beyond the grave! We're all doomed!
oh dear. Yeah.
How do I do a death save?
You roll a d20.
Okay.
That's cocked.
Thing. It's 17.
That is one success.
Oh.
Yeah, see.
Hooray!
One success.
Now you just be unconscious on the thing, like on 0 HP, just floating, going. Beautiful, really, in a way.
Oh, it is.
So does this count as a long rest?
Up. Technically, it could be the longest rest.
Could be the true long rest. All right.
So I imagine after that sort of fight's kind of gone through, probably going.
Just lie out and enjoy the sun?
Yeah. Well, actually, also the explosion, and you're just screaming at things, I assume.
I imagine Leland is cowering against a door frame, being all twitchy, looking around.
And I assume that fellow's still violently praying.
Now you were pretty badly fucked up before the fight, or did you get fucked up during the fight?
I think during the fight, yeah, because I did big spray it before.
The fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I actually avoided most of the stuff.
Same.
Yeah. Because we're smart. You're as smart as Puppet.
Else not HP because pro.
But yeah. As you guys are sort of taking stock, the hammerheads are getting back up and getting the makeshift crew around the ship and getting things moving again. One of them is leaning over the edge and sort of assessing the damage of the two claws and the bite attack that's been done to the side. It's taken an entire section of the railing and bitten through the deck and the sideboarding to the point where you can actually see from the deck into the first level of the internals of the ship. It's all above the waterline, so it's not sinking, but yeah, there's a big hole in the side of the boat.
Also, walks up to the edge of the railing and sort of leans over and just sort of peering off the side, leaning up against the railing, just starts reloading, like automatic hand movement.
This is you don't so often. You're just like,
Yeah, like a goth rolling a cigarette, just like automatic.
yeah. I get it.
I'll be walking away from the turtle and just kind of look at the cart and go, yeah, well done, come on.
Give me another death save. It's been a bit of time.
20?
That means you're better.
That means you're better.
Oh,
Also, there's 2 of you now.
sweet.
That natural 20, if I remember right, is you not only regain consciousness, you gain 1 health. Yes.
Yeah, you're up. You're awake.
So,
You got better.
And my plan worked.
Well, that cut short what was going to be an interesting 10 minutes.
and session over.
That was all we had planned.
Well, quick, I guess. Yeah, nice and easy. No.
All right,
Well, if you-
fart. There we go.
Can't keep a good halfling down, or even a mediocre one.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't have thought I'd bring in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That was a whole thing you were going to do. But yeah. Okay. You are conscious.
Can you animal friendship a werewolf?
Does it seem does it seem like that's a thing that would happen though?
It's like a puppy.
Maybe yes, but with you, no.
Does it seem like Han is the
You'll
kind of
do it.
person to
There'll be
have
50
friendship in
werewolves somehow.
general?
Well, there's a question of would it work, and then there is a question of like, would you know, or would you just try anyway?
I think you just try.
I think you try anyway.
I think it's proven you just try anyway.
My intelligence is in the negatives.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Suppose you haven't
totally
tried it
trying
yet.
that. And I'm not giving you an answer until you try it.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Bobbit, you're conscious and at 1 health.
Awesome. I'm gonna go to the... Wait, I have my stuff. I'm just gonna drink a potion. Screw you all. I'll take the
You've
best
got them.
one. No, I won't take the best one.
Meanwhile,
I've
what
only got one of it.
is everyone else doing? Because you've got a few days of travel on the water to get back to Gesserek.
Leland is. I'm at disadvantage for any wisdom or charisma checks right now, right?
That sounds right. This is for the
For the paranoia.
paranoia, I believe so.
Okay. So Leland is going to sort of act like he's being subtle about it, but he wants to see what's going on with the soldier that he put crazy in.
Okay.
Like maybe he's like sort of like casually walking along the far side of the deck, just being like out of the corner of his eye, like staring, trying to figure out what's going on, like just circling around in decreasing thing, just trying to get a sense of what's going on.
Do you remember what I say out loud? What
You said that he went to his knees and started praying.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Because I had a mental blank on what we rolled up then. Yeah, he's basically down on his knees, essentially, like hands together, and every now and then sort of bowing his head. But yeah, that's his current state. Do you want to investigate further?
You gave him Mormonism.
Investigation's and intelligence, so that one's still okay. I'm going to guidance myself.
Okay.
Also, like, I didn't quite realize this before. Like, I'm crutching on the guidance thing, right, a lot. I realized that is the only thing I really functionally get out of the Warlock of the Tome thing. Like, you know, like Mitch has got his whole familiar thing, and he gets a whole bunch of abilities, or you have like the pact of the blade, you get this cool sword. The book, the only functional thing that gives me is 3 extra cantrips. One of those is guidance, which I wouldn't normally get. And I very much like the idea that he's always using it, because that's sort of like his book whispering secrets to him.
Oh yeah.
So like that's why I'm using it all the time, because it's sort of like a fundamental part of the character.
Unless there's a situation where you wouldn't have the time to put guidance on before doing something. Yeah, I just
very much like it as well. Like he relies on it because it is part of like an intrinsic part of his power from the book. Anyway. That's a +6. And I got a 17.
17. As you're sort of pacing around, every time you sort of pass in front of him, you can sort of see that he's not really reacting to anything in his peripheral vision. He is solely focused. He's basically staring at his own hands. At no point is he showing any sort of acknowledgement to the outside world beyond his own little orb of space.
All right. Leland's going to eventually pluck up the courage, sort of like sort of crouch down next to him and just sort of like hand on his shoulder and just be like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? You feeling seasick? It's seasickness, right? You got just some bad seasickness."
All you hear at this point is basically just muttering under his breath. He's just going over lines of like scripture and religious words.
Oh, I get songs stuck in my head all the time too. That sucks. You just wanna maybe just get up and stop being a weird, freaky, weird shell shock person. Come on, just do me a solid on this. Let's get up and walk around the deck, like sort of like trying to like lift him up.
Yes.
Come on, let's do this. We're sailing on the seas.
Give me a strength check.
Oh yeah, +0 because 7.
You start sort of like trying to pick him up, and it's a case of like he's not trying to stand up. He's not resisting you, but he's not putting any effort into his. It's like trying to pick up a child that doesn't want to get picked up. They just put all their weight into their core, and they're not getting picked up.
Yeah, no, let's stay here. Here's cool. Just want some water. You good? You good? Okay, I'm gonna go. And Leon runs away.
As you sort of scarper off, the captain of the Hammerheads is walking up to you and is like, "What's up with him?"
I don't know.
The paranoia is real.
I got some important wizard things to do. I'll see you later.
As you sort of scarper back past him, he's sort of like looking at you going past, and then looking back at one of his soldiers is like,
If this is one of those Walking Dead games, it's like the captain
"We'll remember this."
As I'll walk down, because I'm going back down, I don't want to be on the surface of the boat anymore,
That's a reasonable idea.
because the light hurts us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just walk by and kind of go, "I think your human's broken."
Your human's broken. It's going to be the other catch line for this thing.
If at all possible, I want to go and have a short rest.
Yeah, if anyone wants to start gearing up for resting, that's something that's on the cards.
Yes, and I want to know what hit dice are for the Song of Rest.
Oh, if you're doing a long rest, it doesn't matter because you'll
It's a
heal up
short
and
rest
full.
thing.
If you're doing a short rest, you have
Song
hit
of
dice
Rest
on
is-
your You'll have hit dice somewhere on the sheet.
It is there.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, because that's definitely a thing you want to hide.
Oh, if you do short rest, if you click the short rest button,
That was what I was going to
then
try.
it comes up.
There you go. So you can spend any number of those and
Yes.
roll that number of dice to regain health. Your little song thing is essentially adding a bonus to that.
I'm gonna take a hit dice. And I got 6 back.
When you spend one or more hit dice, you get to roll an extra 1d6 for the Song of Rest.
That's for everyone that's going to hear your
Yes.
song.
Yes.
Can I hear your song?
No.
Fine. That's fine.
I'm really bad.
Probably more dubstep. You don't want to hear it.
That's fine. I already am back on full health from just my hit dice. So I don't fucking need your stupid song.
I'm sensing a lot of hostility.
Fuck you! I didn't do anything to that guy!
Do you want to take this into the darkness where you're potentially flanked by some of my allies?
I'm one of your allies.
Oh, that makes it so much easier.
Aren't I? Can't flank myself, can I? I'll be back in a minute.
You get
Yes, you
blind
can.
doing that.
1d8, 1d6 plus 1.
So resting up for at just the hour.
Yeah, I just want a short rest.
Just a short rest.
I get my spell slots back.
Oh, you got both of them.
Yeah.
Just from a short rest.
Yeah.
That's handy.
Yeah, that's how warlocks work. We haven't been taking short rests. I get my spell slots back on a
I
short
haven't
rest.
really given you a lot of opportunities to actually just get short rest.
I mean, I don't get Roderick slots back, but obviously they do.
Hollister, I don't think took any damage. You took some from the spray.
That depends who you're asking.
Hollister?
No, he didn't.
He didn't take damage?
He didn't take any damage at all. He's
didn't
real,
either.
real hard to hit.
Oh, I took some at some point.
Huh?
Okay.
I'm not engaged though, so I wouldn't be too concerned.
All right. Everyone's done their healing up bit.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
I assume so.
after the rest, what are your guys' plans?
Getting a poker game together with the Hammerheads.
All right.
I'm just going to stand at the deck where it's somewhere dark.
Yep. Pop it.
I just lost one instrument, so I might play around with the Satyr's panpipes.
Okay.
And I have no idea what I'm doing.
The magic ones that put people to sleep?
Yeah.
Cool.
And what's your plan?
Leland is finding like I'm guessing he had like a little cabin that he holed up in before, or like this little space below deck. He is down there pacing back and forth, like chewing his fingernails, just like rocking back and forth, pacing back and forth.
Can you mumble quietly? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Shut up! I'll come up with a wittier insult back at you later, drow person.
Take your time.
Okay.
Because you have all the time you need.
So, up on deck, you're trying to get a poker game going up there?
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. So you heading up on deck. There's a bunch of the hammerheads and a couple of the other refugees. Some of the more healthy or able-bodied ones are up trying to sort of, I guess, learn the ropes, because that's the term.
Literally where that comes from.
That's literally where it comes from. So there's a few people that are not currently engaged in work, but most of the available hands are sort of scrambling over the rigging or manning the till. Or
he pretty much pulls up a barrel and surrounds it with a couple of boxes and chairs and just starts dealing out poker hands and waits for someone to wander over and join in.
All right. After a couple of minutes, you see a couple of people sort of pay attention to the situation in the middle of the deck, because most people are either busy on the rigging or trying to repair the hole on the side of the side of the ship, just sort of putting loose beams and everything over the gap to just try and seal it up a little bit. But a couple of the refugees sort of start tiptoeing over and is like, what's the game?
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em.
You gonna have a more fantasy version of Texas?
Tejas Hold'em.
Tejas Hold'em.
Hold'em. It is Elvish. It means Texas. Did not think this through.
It means the good land.
Does it? No,
It's one of those ironic names. Yeah, a couple of them sort of sit down. I was like, alrighty, let's, how do you play?
Oh, now, boy, you just come sit right next to me.
Actually, now that I hear that, I'll just
will
like
show you how.
suddenly materialize.
How are we going to handle cards in this?
Yeah, that's the question.
Oh,
do you have
okay.
like a set mechanic for doing this?
Not that deck.
Because Hollister has 2 rules about playing poker with people. 3 rules, including that he does it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 rules are he does not cheat unless he thinks the other person is going to.
Okay.
And the other rule is he does not cheat unless he thinks he can get away with it.
The third rule is he always has his hand on his gun.
Well, he does that anyway, in and out of poker.
That's not a poker rule. That's just a general.
That's
life.
okay.
That's
That's a
life
life
advice,
rule.
really. It's got that stitched on a throw pillow. Always keep your hand on your gun.
Okay, so you've got 3 refugees, yourself. One of the hammerheads has jumped in as well.
The idea I got for him is that he's used to like a certain kind of luxury,
Yep.
and he's got no goddamn income. So like even like not like
I know
even
them feels, bro.
wow, there is some real life soaking in there. That's not even a character anymore. That's just life.
Gone too deep.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
quickly summarize? It talks about like how much they can wager and all this sort of stuff. But it's like, player makes a series of checks with a DC determined at random based on the quality of the opponents that the character runs into. Part of the risk of gambling is that you never know who you might end up sitting across the table from you. The character makes 3 checks: Wisdom, Insight, Charisma, Deception, and Charisma, Intimidation. The DC is 5 plus 2d10, generating a separate DC for each check. So you'll generate 3 separate DCs with 5 plus 2d10.
Okay.
He makes a Insight check, a Deception check, and an Intimidation check. And then, so how many successes and failures he gets out of that determines the results.
Okay.
0 successes, lose all money you bet plus accrue a debt equal to that amount. 1 success, lose half the money you bet. 2 successes, gain 1.5 times the amount you bet. 3 successes, gain double the amount you bet. That's actually a pretty cool system.
That's actually a really good system.
And then it also has complications. Gambling tends to draw a variety of unsavory characters.
Yo.
The potential complications involved in come and run-ins with various... There's like a D8 of different complications that can happen from gambling.
Is there cheating?
And those 3 checks that I create, are they just like 3 random numbers, or do I create each of those? It's 2d10, is it?
It says 5 plus 2d10.
5 plus 2d10.
Separate for each check.
Separate for each check. Okay.
And I think you can like leverage them up if it's secretly playing against a shark or that sort of thing.
All right, let's do that. That sounds real good. So I'm going to roll up my numbers.
I think, and the way I would modify that, because one is if there's an insight, a deception, and an intimidation. Like, so your deception would be the cheating part, intimidation would be your game, and insight would be how good you are at reading your opponent. Like, if you're cheating and you're doing a good cheating, that would be advantage on your deception check. And if they're like sus to you cheating, they'd have advantage on their insight one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool shit you could play around with that.
I was aiming for getting
this-
sleight of hand in there, because his thing is like dexterousness and like small hand movements, and
Those
leaning on that for cheating.
Those 3
would be-
numbers, do I pick which categories they are before they start rolling?
Yeah, I think you would model them based on how you think the guy is, or
Alright.
just at random.
And it was intimidation.
Insight, deception, and intimidation. And then there's a gambling
Sorry,
complication.
insight, intimidation, and what was the third one?
Deception.
Deception.
But
Alright.
I think you're right. You could possibly even incorporate a
Like maybe you can choose to substitute one of those 3 with your sleight of hand score instead of.
I mean, I think deception would be the one you would swap with sleight of hand.
I'm good with that. Yeah, if you want to go forward.
Because like you being a sleight of hand doesn't make you better to read the opponent. You could maybe swap the intimidation one. I don't know. Like I know, like this ends up being a much deeper sort of thing than just a straight.
I'm liking this.
That's
I've got my
really
head
getting
around.
onto something. Yeah, I like the idea that it's stat based and not just completely random, or
Yeah.
not just leveraging one stat.
I've got my 3 stats for the.
It doesn't say, because there's complications as well. It doesn't say what triggers having to roll on the complications table. It might be a part
Well,
of. Like,
I would
the
say on
bigger
a boat
thing.
with him setting up, there
DM's
wouldn't like
choice.
be any complications. But I think if you were to play,
If you're in,
go like a shady part
if
of
you
town
could-
and
Yeah,
play
this
down
isn't a
with that
shitty
for
bar.
You're going to be on
with-
the river boat against Maverick.
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's a gang appeared.
Yeah. All right. So I've got my 3 stats. So if you're both coming in, it was
I
essentially.
am not coming in to play poker on the deck of this ship during daylight
Look at the
Okay.
complications.
Can you send me a link to that?
because I'm at a disadvantage for all my
Yeah,
skill
there's some
rolls.
good stuff in there.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat.
All right.
There's a whole bunch of shit in here that's probably like useful.
This is the downtime.
This is downtime, so there's like shit about buying magic items,
Wait,
There's
all the downtime stuff. I think
carousing.
That might have been older UA because I think that all.
It is.
I think that all popped up in either Zaranthar's or Mordecai's book.
Sorry. No, this is very cool. I will copy it and put it in the.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
good
chat.
find.
And you're googling it like people have figured out everything for D&D.
Yeah. I got a book out somewhere.
Of course I have.
That's not it.
Well, I just never realised it.
He's just having a read.
All right. So,
We've got some downtime.
what's the wager at this point?
I don't know how much is money worth. I've never actually needed to know like what the economies for gold is in D&D. None of my characters buy shit.
I think that sort of even works for Hollister. He's a pampered aristocrat.
What is
I'm
gold?
working in increments of just gold pieces, not working in silver and copper because I
Yep.
cannot
Yeah,
be
yeah.
bothered with the
Screw all
with the
that
economy
noise.
economy part side of things.
Yep.
For what it's worth, in that downtime thing, it said like the minimum was 100 and the maximum that it like reasonably said was 1,000. But like I think this is a small stakes.
This is small stakes, so
This
I'm
would
thinking like
definitely
10,
be-
10 in would be a reasonable bet, especially for someone that's been in prison for a couple of days.
Yep. Honestly, look, this is just he's always going to need to gamble.
Yep.
Just for that, keeping his hand in and keeping sort of food and wine and women and song and whatnot coming in.
Yep.
A days of rations is 5 gold. 50 feet of rope is 1 gold. A wooden staff 5 gold.
Yeah.
Hammer 1 gold.
Does it have
I'm
like
just looking at my
like
equipment. I don't know.
I like to
okay.
think a gold is about $20.
there's I'm
Yeah,
sure I've
taste
seen it
food,
somewhere.
$20.
Like a day's worth of not just rations, but like living for a day, like bare bones, comfortably.
Yeah.
That's a table somewhere.
That's all.
Sure.
That's
Oh,
in
you
your
mean the
in the setup for your
There you go. If
for
you-
your background. You pick whether you've got a paw or
That's where I've seen it.
It's all
yeah.
to do with downtime as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, it's your living expenses when you're not out adventuring,
Yeah.
and it explains how.
That's
how
what
good
I'm
the life-
aiming for.
yeah, okay.
I'll find that for Hollis's background.
Let's say 5 gold in for this bet.
Yep.
And I've got my 3 stats
How do
there.
these
So
people have money? They've just come out of a bloody prison.
They hide it in places.
they, during the
Do you
recovery,
really want that money?
during the recovery,
Dysentery. Give me the watch.
Give me the watch.
during the recovery, you did manage to gather up a bunch of little supplies and bits and pieces that were in the
None of them took any coins beforehand and did. Neither of them did.
But yeah, I've got my 3 stats. So,
All right, how am I doing this?
so you've got what was it? Intimidation, insight, and deception are your 3 ones you want to go. If you want to sub one of those for
Sleight of
sleight of hand, tell me which one you're subbing before you do it.
Yep.
You
all
could
right.
do your insight first before you decide to do the cheating as well. Like that's you sort of reading your opponent and you like see how you go in your insight to figure out whether they'll be able to call you on the cheating sort of thing. It's just-
Would that
describe the hand as
Would
you
that
go.
make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
This is a narrative.
He's set on those rules. That actually means something.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to cheat someone that he doesn't think is going to cheat him, and would be able to work out that he's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
That is shitty morality, but that is what matters. If someone doesn't realize they've been cheated, in his mind they haven't been. So that's fine.
All right.
So they need to fall into categories of
So you're doing insight first.
yep.
All right. So you're eyeing this guy over, sort of trying to sort of weigh him up.
There's a couple of hands where it's like always play like a couple of hands straight.
Yep.
And then it's just sort of see how it goes, sort of feel them out, see if they're like reaching for their pocket or anything like that.
Yep.
That is 13.
13. Okay. So you're eyeing this guy over. You watch the way he sort of handles the cards, and he does this quick little move where he's like, when he's sorting his cards, he quickly flicks like one card from one hand to the other hand, without like passing directly. You're looking at this and going, this guy's handled cards before.
That's enough. Yep.
But yeah, not the greatest roll there. But yeah. All right. Do I declare success or failure on these as I go along, or is this a case of
It
giving
didn't say,
the result at the end?
I would say you'd give it at the end.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
you
I like
revealed
that.
the hand at the end.
Yeah. All right.
I think you would just like he does his 3 rolls and then at the end you see how many successes or failures he has and then you'd say you lose.
Yeah. All right. So you got the intimidation or deception rolls.
All right. Well, this is going to be. All right. Do I tell you that I'm cheating? How does that work?
If you're going to do a sleight of hand, let me know. And
Okay.
tell me which of those ones you're
All right.
He's
substituting
already
sleight
worked
of
out
hand.
the DCs that you're working towards.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
I
tell
would
me
say
which-
if you
this is-
describe the way of your cheating, you might get advantage on one of the rolls or that sort of thing. Would be a neat way of sort of if you got a cool way that you're cheating, that might be or
I just think, how do you normally cheat at poker?
yeah. Please tell us.
I'm not fucking saying that on a podcast, dude. I want to play poker again. But theoretically, in this situation,
Hypothetically.
sitting around like I'm guessing like it's a barrel. Everyone's sort of cramped around on little crates. It's gonna be wobbly. Everyone's like, it's not like comfortable seating.
No.
So Hollister's dealing out. When it gets round to, I think your cheating guy shifts in his seat a little bit and bumps the barrel, and that sort of shoves, and everyone sort of oop, and then card comes off the bottom of the deck.
Okay. So there's a sleight of hand you're taking this for. This will be something for the deception. So
Yep. Oh, come on. With a +9, that is going to be an 11 anyway.
all right. You do this little trick, and this card sort of flicks off the bottom of the deck into your moving into your hand. Yes.
So that would be like dealing out.
Oh,
like
dealing.
he's like during the shuffling, he like looks at the bottom of the deck, and waits until like it's a shitty card on the bottom of the deck.
Yep.
And then everyone gets dealt off the top until it comes to the guy that he wants to know whose cards he's
Okay.
got, and boom.
You feel like you fumbled that, but you're trying to work out whether or not this guy is watching your hands for a start or aware of it. So you can't work out whether you've been caught.
Yeah.
Whether you've been.
Yeah.
You know you flubbed it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It didn't feel right,
good,
it
didn't feel right,
didn't
but
feel
it didn't
smooth.
like go like
But you didn't
flying off or anything.
Throw all the cards in the air and make a mess of it. All right.
I like the idea, like, because I know you got this idea of like you're playing poker for like a whole night and everything, but like for the purposes of the game, you sort of just encapsulate it down to one hand,
Yeah.
sort of thing, to represent the whole thing, like in a symbolic sort of way. I sort of
yeah.
dig that
Yeah.
as a mechanic.
Otherwise, there's literally 3 hours of us rolling out stats, and then All right. The
Which
last one
it
is
could be.
intimidation
I got some shit playing though. I got some shit playing, Ryan.
for tonight.
Yeah, or
For the boat
for this
ride?
next little bit.
All right.
I got a thing.
Actually, I
Weeks to
like the
plan.
one of those is
You got 2 more weeks to
intimidation.
plan.
Not for now, but for at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
This one's just going to be a straight roll,
Yep.
and that is a 13 plus nothing.
You need to
Okay.
get some cool item that just buffs your intimidation.
Have you got that UA?
I've got a 2.
Ooh, actually.
That's nice.
Oh, wait.
You said it's written.
I've got it up there. Hang on.
All right.
Gambling.
Looking at the results. That's easy.
And then the next thing is on the next page is the complications. I think the idea is the complications is you're doing like a week's worth of gambling, and this is how it's encapsulated down. And so you're always going to get a complication from a week's worth of gambling somewhere in a shady town.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just in life.
Come on, pop an into new parachute and
Okay.
ammunition.
So, you guys play out several hands. You do this and the second or third hand you do that little trick where you try and palm one off the bottom of the deck. On that hand, the guy you're playing against like folds. As soon as he folds on that hand, and then you play this balls out all in hand on the final one. You've got all the confidence running at this point, thinking you've got this guy on the ropes, and you push your remainder of your chips in the middle. He matches your bet, and it is 1 card difference with you putting that in the lead. You had 1 success on the intimidation, 2 fails on the other 2 because they weren't great rolls.
They were a great roll.
Which means he looks at that and goes and pulls half the coins. You lose half of what that bet was.
All right, so I lose half the whatever it was.
Of the
we
buy-in,
decided.
I think we said 10.
10?
So you've lost 5 across the whole night. You've lost 5.
I like the idea of fleshing this out a little bit more and like getting a good sense of this. I don't know how you would play multiplayer, like against other NPCs.
Well, the roll, like, when he's rolled is still secret, so it's still like.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we could.
It's not that like, we don't know what we're doing.
I could
Competing
definitely
roles.
do competing roles and bits and pieces like going on. But we can flesh this out.
I think having.
nicely.
I can read minds.
Like to the point where you could play off against the NPCs as well.
Yeah.
We would know each other's roles, and we could con NPCs.
Or maybe the
And then
point
sort of
we do
split
that,
apart.
like what you don't, you do it secretly, because otherwise you don't know. Like if I'm like if we're playing and I'm doing like sleight of hand cheating shit like that as well, so I kind of oh yeah, I can move that to the first thing and then do the thing, and then just kind of reveal that, and then go oh shit, okay, and then we set these sleight of hand, see if we can modify those.
This is good. This is a good one.
That UA's got some good stuff in it as well.
Yeah,
I didn't read
Like
much.
maybe
of
there's a sleight of hand that
the titles
modify
look
those dice, then you could like do a deception to see if he knows. I mean that can kind of affect that, then you know.
All right. You were downstairs. You were actually resting up during the day, were you not? You were going to try to have more of a rest, is it?
Play footies with someone?
No, not.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll just kind of meditate because I can't do anything up there in the daylight.
I was going to play around
You're
with
trying.
my...
I'll get to you in a sec.
I'm waiting till nighttime.
You're
I'm
right.
I'm hoping, and maybe I've suggested it. Is that
Well, I might be about to send everyone to sleep, I don't know.
okay? Cool. No, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm pacing around waiting till nighttime.
Because I also have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just... with a sense of curiosity.
I just like occasionally you pace past where I am, just kind of like.
Not with the conscious
Watching
intent to
is
send
going-
people to sleep like last time, just a sense of curiosity.
I think you're acting more jittery than usual.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't tell him that. You're just making paranoid.
There's fucking turtles, man.
Yeah.
So you're oh, it is basically straight back on
You keep
the
doing
horse
it.
that just kicked you. So
Oh yeah.
you're
One magical instrument blew up in my face. Let's play with another.
Out of the fridge.
That ain't it killing me.
okay. So yeah, you start playing around with this
Strange magical item I don't understand.
Yep. It is it's 5 pipes of different lengths. It's they are carved out of thin reeds. Mm-hmm. You haven't used these really at any point.
I've only used it once, and that was with the conscious intent of putting something to sleep, and I put something to sleep.
You did. Okay.
This is
Oh yeah, that happened in that fight.
yeah, that monster that you immediately woke back up.
Yeah, because it was dark.
Yeah. Wait, it's dark. Of course it's going to go to sleep. It's bedtime. Doesn't everyone
That
understand
wasn't my fault. It was dark. Because some fucker is always casting darkness.
Okay.
Keystone cops up in here. Hey,
So
look,
this
cops.
is with an intent of curiosity.
Very much of the
And
Keystone
discovery.
variety.
And if I accidentally send everyone to sleep and we crash into the cliff, so be it.
What?
Sorry, what? I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
He got stymied in his attempt to kill his character once. God damn it.
So give me
See why?
a performance roll. As you
16.
16.
Oh, this is what's happening.
You sorry.
Is it all what's happening and why is it happening?
Hey,
We might
hey,
die.
hey, someone's magically putting everyone to sleep.
Maybe.
Immune to charm effects. Immune to charm effects.
No,
Well, yeah, you are.
we're immune to magically being put to sleep.
That's true.
Well, I'm half immune to it.
So, yeah,
It's like on one side of your body. It's like you're a stroke.
my arm and leg goes to sleep. God damn it.
This is the turtle's fault. It's the turtle's fault.
Fucking turtles.
Okay, so you start sort of piping this song
That's my
out.
heartfelt joke.
Similar to the ones
session.
that you heard when you first went up against the satyrs, and the one that you used.
Someone to the sleep song.
So essentially, yeah, you're firing out the sleep song, and you're downstairs or up on deck.
I'm up on deck.
You're up on deck. Okay, so hammerheads, refugees. Also, if you can also give me a wisdom save.
Whoops.
No, it's fine.
need
I'm
to do the
totally
same.
wise.
Same.
I actually have pretty good wisdom checks. That's how I saved from the whole voice.
12.
What was your performance roll? 16, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're playing this untargeted,
Yes.
you're not sort of playing it at someone with intent, you start sort of feeling this drowsiness. You're not going fully asleep, but you're like towards the end of your hand of cards and everything, and you're
This
just
is why
like
you lost.
you start like you really start feeling like the dry eyes, and just like every time you blink, it's like harder and harder to lift your eyelids back up again. It's just like wave of tiredness, and you can sort of, it's looking around.
Reaches into his vest and comes out with a little wooden flask and starts nipping from it.
It's got hot cocoa.
Yes, Coco. Okay. You also see like a couple of the people up through the rigging start to sort of like just like
Oops.
list and waver and start. And a couple of them is like shaking to try and sort of wake up a little bit and just grabbing hold of the ropes as much as they can. Just like rocking and waving around.
Seems dangerous on this ship.
But with that,
Same.
give me a wisdom roll at this point
Just
because you stop playing.
I hope you fall asleep too.
As the music sort of stops, you sort of like.
Oh yeah, last time I completely.
But
17.
as the
I beat
music
it by
starts
one.
playing across, you sort of like it's like you've had a shot of coffee, which I'm not sure what's in your little flask, but
Don't worry about it.
you
probably
also
not
notice
it.
everyone up, sort of
Liquid
up in the
crystal
rigging
meth.
around the deck that's been they were looking a bit groggy, just shake it off and it's done.
I had a 17. I beat it by 1.
You did it what? Well, it's not for whether you put yourself to sleep; it's whether you can work out how to use that.
Oh,
With
I rolled
intent.
a 17.
Okay, you have unlocked the ability to do gentle lullaby in
Gentle
that
lullaby.
Just
I currently
on
think I only
command
have
rather
on
than
command rather than just to the group.
Yeah, that's
do I need
cool.
like an inside check to work out what the fuck just happened, or is
Oh,
that
yeah, if
like
you wanna-
yeah?
You just got a new ability. You unlocked Gentle Lullaby.
Lullabies. Nap time for everyone.
Except ourselves.
Except you. Half of you. I can make you feel tingles.
Anyone that was downstairs. so-
ASMR.
18.
18. Yeah, it's not hard to put two and two together. That sort of haunting tune, and it's when it started, you started feeling drowsy. When it stopped, you stopped feeling drowsy.
Bard music effect.
It was the turtles.
Turtles.
But
They're everywhere.
If you want to spend some time on it another time to try and unlock
Yeah.
more of its capacity, you're going to be able to.
Or I might just assume it only has a sleep mode.
That is something you can
also-
attempt next time if you like.
I just wanted to be clear. I think you said something about paranoid about the turtles. Is it like I'm sort of expanding out to a generalized paranoia at the moment? Is
This
that
is a generalized paranoia.
cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I, as I'm sitting there like meditating, he's like pacing by. Can I do an insight check to see like if he's?
Oh, definitely.
Well, I know he's.
You, David Goiter, knows that
might be
that he
suspicious.
has a situation of paranoia. Whether you, Han Song, knows that he's got some paranoia going.
That's right,
It's
yeah.
something you got to roll for.
It's 10. That boy ain't right. That's all I know.
While I'm
Yep.
pacing,
I
I've
don't know
sort
if
of
that's you got that one.
Dang it, Bobby.
I've got my book out
What?
and I'm like flicking through it, trying to. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. He's flicking through it, but like super impatiently and not really reading anything. But what I'm scanning for is I'm trying to like read anything in there talking about like the
Turtles.
the effects of the corruption points. Mm-hmm. But like whether he gets anything or not is because he's more doing the.
Yep.
So like, if you want to like get a check out of that, but like,
I'm gonna give you. It's gonna be an investigation check with disadvantage.
okay, but
He's
he's trying to see anything about like the effects of corruption points. Because what I was sort of thinking is that seeing what happened to the mimic with the corruption point in it has shaken him to some degree, and like he's maybe thinking that maybe this isn't a cool thing for him to be putting out and leaving in the world. Investigation with disadvantage.
Yes, because you're not very.
I roll a 20 and then a 12. So 18.
18.
I'll roll a 20, Ryan.
Did roll a 20. Okay. Flicking through the book, you see nothing in the actual writings, more in some of the imagery that are in some of the borders. We're talking like it looks like one of those monk transcribed books. It's all done with the really quite intricate wording and everything like that. It's
But the monks
It's
were
a-
insane and doing it with their own feces and blood.
and someone
Mostly feces.
whether it's
Could be
someone
someone
after transcribing or someone in the transcription process has like illustrated along the borders. They got one picture of this one figure that looks really, really gaunt, holding someone else by the shoulders, and there's this it looks like a transfer of dark mist going from like the eyes and the mouth of the person holding into the heart of the person he's holding on to, and the face of the person that's being transferred to is just, it's kind of like that Van Gogh painting. It's just like that. That face is a hard one to transcribe.
So I found this bit and I'm like, yeah, I know that part. Tell me what happens next.
Flicking through a couple more pages.
I like that he yells at the book.
I want to make you roll intimidation on a book now. With super disadvantage, where you keep on rolling until you fail.
Then I want the librarian to be very annoyed at you for it.
You flick a little bit more, looking through at these borders, and it's almost like one of those flip books. Like each one sort of the image changes slightly from the previous one. So flicking through, like you can actually
like a
flip book.
Neat.
You actually start, you notice that these images are changed every bit, and then actually basically do the whole flip book thing, and it's essentially animating the whole process of the transfer, transfer E, basically releases their grip, and the other person there is essentially then you can see like basically the area around their brain and their heart is just sort of like pulsing with this dark energy, and eventually dissipates. But you can sort of the silhouette of, I'll call them what they are, the victim, looks a lot more gaunt and skeletal by the end.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
It does. I'm probably just going to do what I was going to do anyway.
Alright.
Wheeler's not making good choices. I'm waiting until it gets dark, and then I'm trying to suss out what's happening with the guy who got infected, the infectee, the victim. What's he? Is he still in the same spot?
A couple of the other hammerheads managed to sort of get each side of him and pick him up and move him. He's in one of the quarters.
Okay.
But essentially still doing the same thing. Every now and then he's normally on his knees and sort of just praying towards the ground. Every now and then he gets up to like the water basin that's been set up for him, and he grabs water and like splashes himself in the face 3 times, and then carefully wipes himself back down, and then goes back to it. He's essentially doing a whole ritual.
Okay, I got a thing, right?
Okay.
If he's on his own, I got a thing. So, Leland's gonna cast guidance on himself.
Yep.
Leland's doing a thing. And he's going to make a stealth check.
Okay.
I rolled a 20.
And a 4.
And a 4.
Okay.
My stealth is a +6. So I'm
That's a
at
30.
30.
When you get a golf clap from the rogue that you actually hear, means the rogue wasn't as stealthy as you.
Well, that's going to make this next bit a lot easier.
Okay.
Leland sneaks into that room.
Uh-huh.
He grabs Roderick. And it's just like looking at the guys like, this won't do. This won't do at all.
And does something nice?
That's something nice. He casts Dominate Person
Okay.
Oh no.
on the fella. It's a Wisdom 19 saving throw.
That's a lot.
Natural 20.
Oh no, that's definitely it. Okay.
And then, like, I can telepathically command them to do things.
Okay.
Is he still wearing his armor? Yeah. I think you should go for a swim.
Can I borrow that there for the dominate person?
Off the back of the boat. And just keep going. They don't get a chance to save until they take damage.
This is not like suggestion. This is
No.
this is the super.
Actually dominate,
Yeah.
I just got that at my last level up. This is a big deal spell.
This is specifically the one where you can make someone kill themselves.
Well,
In effect.
You don't have to do that though.
This
you could have done something nice.
Depends how much damage.
This is disposing of the evidence. This is
paranoia.
okay. So this
he's
guy,
not making good choices right now.
this guy sort of, his whole face is sort of like glazed over now. Like he's sort of looking forward. It's it's just soft focus and all that sort of thing. He goes up to the water bowl and sort of scoops a load of water and sort of wipes it down his face. Makes a symbol with 3 fingers towards his heart, and then walks out the room, steps up the stairs, starts walking towards the back, and just up top you can hear someone on the deck. And it's like, oh, it's good to see you're back up on your feet. Feeling a little bit better than men. And then you just hear footsteps a little bit further along the back. It's like, wait, where you heading, bud?
Is it somewhere nice?
It's going somewhere nice. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And then you just hear, wait, but what the fuck? Splash.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Not where I was expecting this to go.
Ooh, what you say?
And that's the end of this session.
And you just hear,
only meant well, what of course you do.
you hear like
Also,
whole pile of, like,
telepathically, I'm like, yeah, just keep swimming. Just keep
swimming.
Just keep swimming.
up on deck you can hear the sounds of basically people running about. You hear the heavy footsteps, and you hear one guy like yelling out, "It's like, quick, grab a rope, because try and you hear this splash as like this rope hits the water, and this guy is just, and you just hear the sounds of like swimming strokes as best you can with metal armor on, and eventually you just hear the sounds of the guys is like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? What? And then you hear another splash, and like frantic splashing. And is anyone else up on deck at this point? This is at night time now.
Well, if it is night time, I would be up on deck at this point.
Also, like Lynn's going to sneak back to where he was coasted up downstairs.
What you see up on deck is, again, like you saw this guy sort of walk up, and you're like, okay, cool, random lumberfoot. This is up on deck. Do, and just he stood for the last little section. He sort of stood at the edge, sort of made a praying action, and just literally dove off the edge of the back edge of the boat. As soon as it happened, a couple of the other hammerheads basically scrambled towards the edge. One's grabbed a long rope and tried to sort of basically make a lasso sort of thing, threw it a couple of times trying to get it, and then eventually pulled it up another time, tied it around his own waist, dove off the edge, and is just swimming towards this guy, trying to get him back.
I was kind of like, sort of like initially watching going, what's this lumberfoot doing? Jump off. Humans are weird. And then like kind of like slick across, like there's the people trying to do this stuff, and just more amusement and confusion of like.
So I'm establishing we're the baddies, guys.
Maybe you should.
Are we the baddies?
We've got skulls on our hats.
Now,
Leland's not making good choices.
going back to the fight against the dragon,
Yeah.
when he did the whole completely normal thing of screaming at that person,
Yep.
mine screaming at that person, would I have seen that?
There was a dragon turtle attacking the ship.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I
Maybe distract.
don't know if I'd make a connect and just go, oh, this is weird, or I don't know if retrospectively I can make like a
When he
Perception check.
yelled at the
when
he did it
did his thing
to
and
the
like,
shapeshifter.
just kind of grabbed that guy and didn't really
The
transfer the madness.
soldier who just jumped off.
Yeah.
But you're going in reference to when he first did it to the shapeshifter.
No, well, no, I saw that.
Yeah.
You guys were there when that
It was
happened.
still that happened.
We were fighting it, and
But
I did
Did
an
I
attack
see
on
something
it.
similar happen
You did the
like
magic
before
spell.
during the
Yeah.
fight?
Because you're a mighty wizard.
What happened just today with the...
Well, I'm happy to do like a.
Roll me a perception with a disadvantage.
It's going to be
at the
disadvantage
time.
anyway because it's during the
It
day.
was during the day. Okay. So it's disadvantage
Unless it
to
smells
see
different.
if you saw it.
I don't think you can smell it.
Maybe you can smell the corruption.
Maybe you can smell the corruption.
It was like bad.
I might have seen it. 25.
Is your lowest result.
That's the lowest roll. I rolled a 15 and a 19. Hashtag just drow things.
Okay.
/ rogue things.
You definitely caught in your peripheral vision a similar,
I reckon like maybe
situation.
it's finding that thing, the sun got too much, I was kind of like, oh, and as I was like kind of doing that, I just saw something like,
And this same guy, and of course, this guy's been up on deck for a good chunk of the day. Not that you were up there at the time, but actually you wouldn't have seen that part, that so much.
I just know that as I was going back, he was, dang it, the human's broken.
Yeah, you did say that.
What happened to the guy, Ryan?
Okay.
So I guess,
They said
something
you would
good.
live happily.
knowing what's happened before, I'll just connect the dots, I just kind of stay away from the action and watch it unfold.
Did they both die?
What you see
I said that with the wrong turn. Did they both die, Ryan?
You're just slowly killing everyone on this ship. Is this the new game now? The paranoid Leyland just kills everyone on the ship.
Look,
One by one.
I didn't do quite as good a job as you tried to do a minute ago.
So, what you see, are you sort of in a position where you can actually see the water?
I would have moved, like, after being on the deck, floating around the captain, whatever, just kind of noticed that, jump, and then I would have gone, interesting. Everyone's kind of going there, like, slip across and just kind
Okay.
Just around the
From what
side.
you can
Just
see,
kind of watch.
you see
Michael
the
Jackson popcorn
the guy that
thing.
dived in after him has caught up with him and is trying to sort of like keep his head above water because the guy is like he's losing energy. He's wearing his full armor, everything like that. He's started to sort of like struggle to keep his head above water. He's following the order. He's just keeping on swimming. And
Don't make me feel bad about this, Ryan.
Why? Bad about what exactly? Say it out loud what you've done.
About murdering this innocent person, this NPC that I don't care about, and is moving on with his life, discarding like so much overused trash. Don't make me feel bad about getting rid of this evidence that I want no one to know about.
okay. The guy that dived in after is like every now and then is like trying to grab hold of it. Is like, Benson, why are you doing this?
Oh, you gave him a name!
I gave him a name.
Ryan had his whole
son of
story
a
on
bitch.
that.
You gave me just enough time to pause and think of a name.
It's okay, Leland didn't hear that. He's fine.
He's like, Benson, why are you doing this? Stop, just come back on board. And he's like, every now and then he's like swims a little bit more and just, like, tries to pull back away. And eventually, like, the guy that dived in after him just loses grip as Benson just disappears under the surface and doesn't come back up again.
Oh.
And at a point, let's see how good is. About a minute later, that telepathic link that you have just fades off and breaks.
It only lasts for a minute. It only has a duration of a minute. Sorry.
Every now and then you see this guy sort of like just trying to like dive down and then comes back up and then sort of frantically looks around, but it's dark. It's nighttime and ocean water, but this guy is frantic. He's like comes up for a desperate breath, diving back down again, and eventually the guys up on deck are like,
Pull him back up.
he's gone, man. And they start pulling on the rope and pulling him back.
Leland's maybe talking to himself a little bit. No. This was better. This was better for him. This was definitely a better idea. Yeah.
So I guess
No. That was.
making the loose connection of what may have happened there. I'm going to basically just float around the top deck, just listening in on. I'll do trying, I guess, lurking around the top. And just kind of walk inside, listen to any conversations, see if basically people are talking about it, and see if anyone's kind of putting it together themselves of what may have happened or.
You are the police officer, aren't you?
Okay, so go for.
It's on the NCIS now. 'Cause
It's going to be it's investigation.
None of you guys have seen me do dominate person before.
No, but I just know.
Fuck you guys.
That wasn't very good at all. Just 16.
16. Any of the people that you sort of walk past of the refugees, some of them are sort of like, some of the chatter is like they kind of understand what this guy's doing. Like, they over the last X amount of time has seen horrors, and the concept of just swimming off into the void and just sinking, just
Out of character. I'm sorry I made this shit dark.
you Virginia Woolf someone.
Huh?
You Virginia Woolf someone.
Just walk off into the ocean.
Now you can
That's
write
That's the right.
street
That's the right.
novels.
That's something, isn't it? The author
I'm not 100%
Virginia
sure.
Woolf. Is that some? That's a
Virginia
right?
Woolf is an author.
She's the one that put rocks in a thing and drowned herself, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Put like rocks in her
Oh,
pockets
he's Howard
and
Wolf.
basically. Sorry?
You know,
Is that
The Chinese took
is that
them away.
Sylvia Plath? I don't actually know.
I think it's Virginia Woolf. I feel like that's the right name. So she killed herself by filling her pockets with rocks and swimming off in the middle of the lake.
It's got time.
Let's just roll with it.
Yeah. Are people actually googling this now?
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
happy.
Yeah. So some of the people that have been in captivity for a little bit, sort of getting the idea, or, understand the concept of finding an escape from the darkness of the last part of their experience.
Like 2018's been a rough
Sorry?
year. I get it.
The couple of the hammerheads you sort of walk past are like,
it might be like a once, and it's gonna be like over the night.
Yeah.
Just constantly like.
I'm giving you sort of the summary. A couple of the hammerheads that you go past are like, have you ever seen like Benson in a state like that? And the other was like, nah, he's always been like upright and am I right?
That's what I.
Yeah, he's always been sort of a pillar. I never saw this coming, but this is gotten.
It was Virginia Woolf. You're right.
The wheels are always spinning.
Clonk.
Too fast.
You get the impression that a lot of the hammerheads they're surprised at this. Some of them are sort of rationalising the horrors of war and some of the things they're like
PTSD.
yeah,
They saw
those
some
sort-
shit.
Those sorts of things can tilt people, no matter how stoic or put together or how strong they appear. This has become a real therapy session. I was not really prepared for, but I've got some.
Do you want to talk after the session, Ryan? Do you need a...
So,
You need to reveal it.
so one of our
Secret.
sponsors, Talkspace.
Do we want to like do the outro
Say
with
you're
just
a
like
guy.
the
Say you're a guy.
Say you just murdered an NPC.
So you're a guy who magically infected a soldier with like contagious eldritch madness.
You're feeling a little paranoid, right?
But yeah, so you're getting mixed feelings across. There's some understanding. There's a lot of surprise. There's a lot of sadness going on. Like, this has been pretty shitty end to what was already a pretty traumatic couple of days.
Yes, truly untouched. But yeah, okay. It was not as not about any connection and whatnot. I just went at some point during the night after a couple of hours, just kind of listening to that, and that's what the general. Actually, I might even go to the captain actually at some point.
Hold that thought. Nighttime fun times. You're going back to sleep. I'm assuming you're sleeping at this point.
sleeping human sleep?
Not murdering anybody else. No, sir. But did I say else? I mean anybody. I'm not murdering anybody.
I want at the end just this lone boat pulling into port. Just you.
like the opening of Pirates of the Caribbean. Like Leland's just like on the top of the thing, just like
Steps off onto the dock.
but he tripped.
Who did that?
But okay, you go to approach the captain to have a chat about what happened over the last few hours. As you approach, you grab his attention. He's at the tiller. He's steering the ship, and he sort of acknowledges, gives you a bit of a nod as you approach up. And before you get a chance to sort of strike up a conversation, someone runs up from below deck and is like,
Firstly, that's not safe. I thought this was supposed to be a safe. It's not an OSH compliant ship.
These people professionals, Ryan.
professional somethings.
3 points of contact of all times by going up the
Are you carrying a water bottle and a laptop?
Hey, runs up and is like, Captain, you've got to come downstairs.
I will follow.
The captain sort of like signals over to one of the guys in the ring. He's like, take over, keep us on course that way. And he just taps at this compass near the steering. And I was like, keep us on that bearing. I'll be back in a second.
I will follow.
You head downstairs, following the captain, who is following one of the other hammerhead infantrymen, going down into one of the lower holds, and you're greeted by the sight of 3 of the refugees that are all swinging from the rafters.
You've created an epidemic, you murderer!
I had nothing to do with this.
There's a middle-aged male, a woman of about the same sort of age, and someone that's probably in their mid-teens.
Is it a family? The entire family?
Some sort of suicide cult boat.
Don't give him ideas.
So that's
They
4
are.
notches in your belt.
Yeah, they are swinging by the neck from the cross beams in this hold.
Quick check, is there like something that was stood on at some point? Like
There's
Still
a
something like
there's a
before, or
bunch
just-
of little crates and bits and pieces around the.
This got more fucked up, Ryan. I just wanted to murder a guy.
You made this conscious decision to do this.
I did.
Just playing some D&D, Ryan. Just killing some people with reckless abandon. That's what you do in D&D. Why you gotta make such a dark and foreboding deal about it? Can't we just lean into the murder hobo a little bit once in a while? Why does it have to be like a whole criminal case?
Is the ship slowly being enveloped with a mist?
Welcome to Ghost Ship.
oh no, ghost boat.
Ghost boat. Okay. Yeah. There's. If you're looking for something that they could have been standing on, there's several choices.
Okay.
This is a storage hold with various bits and pieces.
That
around.
is a 25 for investigation.
What's your target of investigation?
Getting more around, I guess.
Well, actually, while you're stepping around, the the captain's like ordering the guy that's reported to him is like, cut them down. Let's get them down.
Okay. Oh,
And he sort of stops and like gives you a
I'm just
raised
gonna-
eyebrow look. He's like,
police officer. You wait. You don't tamper with the crime scene. That stuff was supposed to say, right?
if you give me that jurisdiction shit, you can jam it up your ass.
Buy book. I guess investigation to see quickly around there, is there any sign of foul play? Is this genuine suicide? Is it like, just to kind of like, does everything smell right? Does that sort of like,
Have there been any dominate persons cast lately?
Residual madness or magic.
like maybe like signs of like I know they're quite malnutrition, mate. It's like signs of a scuffle, with signs of like they were severely hurt before, and I start like, yep, these people just kind of gave up. There's a note like that sort of stuff. Like,
Okay, so you're looking at there. You can see because you got like a 17 then, didn't you?
or a 17, so it's 25 all up for
25 all up.
investigation.
Um,
I'm happy to do like a smell thing as well. Perception sort of thing.
you can with a 25, you can identify like the 3 items that they would have been standing upon. You can see like the disruption in the dust and the fact that a couple of pieces have been tumbled over, despite the fact that it's a stacked hole.
Yeah. Like no footprints around that to kick those out or something like that, or
What you can see, like the hands aren't bound or anything like that. They a couple of them you can see like abrasions at like the ends of the fingers. The middle-aged man, like his index fingernail has just been torn right off. There's several sets of footprints around the area, but none of the hanging, like the actual the things they stood on, are sort of right next to where the bodies are. They've been moved further than just a shuffle.
so it looks a bit more than like someone like kicking kicking the stool away from themselves. It looks like
it's more like someone else has.
I had nothing to do with this. I was busy
At the ropes.
doing nothing.
Thank you for
Foul
that
play.
gift, by the way, because I had this part planned. Your little
You planned 3 suicides.
yes.
I'm proud of you.
Are you?
well.
Hey Ryan, I'm just getting started.
I guess noticing.
They were next anyway.
I guess like noticing that and like noticing that's like,
They're in a league with the turtle.
and maybe. And I may have staged a few murder, things in my time. So I'm coming going.
You know a stage suicide when you see one.
Okay.
But this has got you can tell.
I've got
You can tell from
suspicions.
that the
From years
things
of
they're standing on
experience.
have been kicked out by someone else.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to
Yeah.
pull at the ropes because of the
Well, noticing that, I'll
get-
also
You get
look
to do
at
the
their
Poirot. This was foul play.
one of my little cigarettes. That's
just
murder.
one more thing.
There's murder.
Just
most
one more
foul.
thing, monsieur. This was not suicide, this was murder.
Murder most foul. And that is French Quarter.
At the same time, I'll just kind of put something up, just have a look, see around the neck, see if I can see.
Oh yeah, there's scratch marks everywhere where these 3 have tried to pull this away.
You're crazy. People just randomly kill themselves for no reason. That happens all the time. Look, it just happened up there. It just happens. What are you even talking about? Why you gotta pull a thread at everything? You know?
gotta investigate
Why can't you just
every
let
suicide?
Why can't you just let things lie? Why can't you just let things lie at the bottom of the ocean when they won't ever find them and discover the corruption that is lying within them? Nothing. What are we talking about?
I'm fine. How are you?
Look, well, I'm just gonna go lie down for a bit.
Jesus Christ. So we have successessly entered the
Danny,
darkest timeline.
Dial 00, and if you hear the screaming, dial the other 0. So I guess I kind of put the feet up, kind of look to see at the neck there. While I'm kind of there, I'll take a bit of a sniff as well and see if I can get their scent as well as,
Any other sense?
other scent and stuff floating around.
Okay. Yep. You got to be rolling.
27.
Okay. I'm just going to give you all the perception things from now on. So sniffing around. So you.
Sorry, I guess like kind of put that in my memory, like for the
Yep. Okay. So yeah, you can definitely sort of. You're sniffing around the ropes, sort of at a higher point beyond where they would sort of be able to reach this, and you're picking up a fourth scent that you can sort of. You're able to sort of lock away.
Is it familiar? I mean, we've got under pinpoint because like stuff's going on.
You've been a werewolf for all of about 20 days.
Yeah, so that's what I was asking. Like, would be something
You
about
don't have the most well-trained nose yet, so
that's where I really do it when I kind of.
You can identify a fourth smell, whether you can file that in your memory palace and attach it to someone else.
To release it to my little dark secret fairy at some point to recharge the cloak.
Yeah. So you can you've identified a fourth.
There was a fourth
scent.
That's cool. Cool. I'll hop down and go to the other guard that's there and go. We heard it. You better chop them down.
Is it?
Heard him. Sorry. See the cat to the other boat.
Yeah, this guy pulls his dagger and sort of grabs something to stand on and just like carefully like cuts the rope and like lowers each of the bodies down.
I'm just gonna like the captain's watching, just kind of like take him a little bit away from where that guard's doing that stuff.
So what's your feel on this?
Just kind of like grab by the shoulders, kind of walking down.
We're getting to be a bit of a rough night.
Down the hallway. Well, I can't speak for what happened above, but those three there, that's not a suicide. There was a fourth person in that room, and the other one definitely clicked under. Their nails have scratched the neck, trying to keep the rope. If you're willing, trying to kill yourself, you don't resist.
What are you suggesting?
There's a murderer on the boat. I'm gonna say from you.
There's at least one murderer on this boat. I'm certain of that.
There's at least two, maybe three. It's not looking good.
The tale of 7 murderers.
I don't know about the new guy. Let's just bite down the maybe and say 4. Let's just make an even number.
Statistically, it's likely everyone here, apart from those 3, are murderers.
Well, they could have been murderers.
Someone
just because they're deceased doesn't mean they haven't murdered someone.
No, look, you become the victim at that point. You stop being a murderer and just become the victim.
Oh, yeah.
Can't you be both?
What's your suggestion? The murder is the business of police. War is my purpose.
Well, I'll have a look in that room, see if there's something else apart from the bodies, but there's very little to go off right now.
For the moment, then I'm going to get my squads together. We're going to start sweeping this ship, room to room, try and find if we've missed something.
And maybe put all the refugees in one spot. Maybe like it's like a brick or something. I don't know, it's like one congealed area so they can kind of be kept watch of, guarded.
Hey, your uncle's on the boat.
Particularly considering we have
I forgot that.
Yeah.
limited resources.
Has your uncle ever murdered anyone?
And that's actually
We don't talk politics at dinner. Yeah.
and there's actually
at any point, are you going to wake up your comrades and get them in on the murder investigation, or is this going to be the solo? He's a rogue. He's a loose cannon. This one
can't be any moves if everyone but me is dead. So how do coup de grace work in this game?
It's essentially if someone's unconscious, you just put a knife through.
Sleeping's like being unconscious, right?
For all intents and purposes, sleep is counters out.
Oh boy, here I go killing him for justice. But I've already said it, but someone had to do something else on board as well, so I think that might be an interesting kind of. I think that's where we took this boat in quite a hurry. It wasn't really trivial. So maybe there's like a John McClane.
A stowaway.
But like a bad John McClane.
Well, let's face it, judging by the actions of the last hour or so, it could just be a good John McClane.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Do your Alan Rickman voice, please.
I need to go eat a banana. Mr. Potter.
There we go.
He doesn't really say that in Die Hard, though.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so I get
How cool would that be, though? Snape in Die Hard? Come on.
No, Die Hard's perfect.
Well,
You don't mess with perfection.
well, maybe if it was like set at Easter or something.
Well,
It is the best. It is the greatest Kwanzaa film ever made.
I'm so mad right now.
Hanukkah?
Hanukkah. Technically, it is sort of set at Hanukkah. Maybe.
Thanksgiving.
I don't actually know.
Hanukkah.
Let's do this. Yeah, so do that before. No, I'll go wake these people up. I've already had my 4 hours sleep. I'm perfectly rested.
Yes, I was definitely sleeping. I've been sleeping here the whole time. Let's get up. What are we doing?
Short rest territory.
What are we? Hey,
Actually,
short
so
rest.
That was not a lot.
Knock on those doors,
That's
say
a long
I'd
rest
go.
period.
Not really a cop. I suppose I'd wake up just to kind of like slightly annoy you anyway.
That's reasonable.
It's like knock on the door. Wake up! This time.
He's like, fuck you.
Fucking why?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to account for everybody on the ship.
Murder!
As an officer of the London, I couldn't
You're just
account.
being real excited. There's a murder investigation. Come on, you're gonna miss it.
That's so exciting.
Don't tell anyone about the murders.
There's been murdering, and we didn't do it.
Not that that's
This is a
unusual.
you get to investigate one and not cause one.
No.
It's like we're real police officers.
What?
I'll knock on the door. So, because like, not knowing what's going on, it's always good to have more hands. I'm not quite sure if you have a particular skill set. Might come in handy anyway. Just tell you to make us over there quickly. When I go and knock on
Your door.
your door, I'll tell you the exact same thing. But just as an aside, as I walk out, I'll just kind of go, cool, we've got this thing on, walk, I'll stop.
Play this out.
What was his name again?
Benson?
Vincent. Yeah.
I just got to stop and go, Benson's dead, by the way.
To me?
Yeah.
After
Just-
telling you
just
that
go
there's
like-
been a murder.
Who's Benson? I don't know any Benson.
And I'll just go, of course you don't. Come on.
No, I don't know any Benson. I don't know what you're talking about. No, come back. What are you talking about?
I'll just...
I don't let you walk away on the cold line. I'm like, no. Awkwardly, I want to clarify what's going on.
Actually, what is his name?
You heard.
Oh, so
We talked
Benson.
about it afterwards. Yeah, you were there.
You were at the scene. You heard them.
Yeah, that's what,
yell
maybe
his
that's what
name.
it is. Just make sure it's like, I can't remember.
But before that point, you may not have actually heard it.
No.
No, you were in the past.
Oh, so I wouldn't have used his name because I knew you wouldn't have known him.
Just that hammerhead.
To say, that hammerhead's dead, by the way.
What do you mean?
I was expecting you to do that differently. I was expecting you to walk in and it's like, there's been a murder and it's been made to look like a suicide. Come along then. That would have been the way. They're onto us.
Just get a dimension door ready. I know I don't need to talk to you. It's fine.
I was going,
No.
Yes,
really,
it was,
it really is fine. No, I'm good. I don't need a cup of tea or anything. No, okay.
okay. Yes, it was quite interesting. He just went up the top of the deck and jumped off the boat.
Huh. That's weird.
And as I sat there for the door, yes, isn't it? And I'll walk off to back to the room.
It is weird though.
It is a weird thing. It is definitely a weird thing.
She
That weird-
knows, Roderick. Yes.
It's going to be a Gollum moment. But they likes us.
It's going to be great because out of character, not as paranoid as fuck, but in character, I wouldn't.
Okay. Heading back up. The captains head back upstairs and relieve the guy that was at the tiller. Meanwhile, what are you guys doing?
So, go to the room where they were found. I'm assuming the bodies are still, like, are they there still, or?
They've been laid down. The guys found some burlap and just sort of covered the bodies over.
So I'll describe what the room was like when they came in. Say, look, where the stools kind of were, they were kicked too far away to be knocked out by their own thing. And as you can tell, lift the bell up. I don't know how many dead bodies you've seen. So I know this is like a traumatic or exciting thing. It's kind of
I'm seeing this is how this is playing out. You're explaining all this thing, you're talking about this, and Leland is leaning against the thing, going waiting for a moment to interrupt you in the thing, and not really paying attention. So, I mean, we've handled this kind of shit before. I could just read the minds of everybody on this boat and figure out who did it. I mean, we've done this before. I could just read everybody's mind and I could tell you who did it. Yeah, I could magically read people's minds.
you're a wizard, are you?
Yeah, no, remember we solved the case of the infiltrated council when I read everybody's mind.
As soon as he says that, hand goes to gun and look around on everyone's face. Does anyone flinch?
Okay, yeah. Well, it's just you guys.
And I'm doing it matter of factly.
Whoever's in sight.
Isn't that only like a...
That's
What is that anyway? Is
that'd
that
be insight.
insight?
Yeah.
That's like 10.
So you're looking forward to see if anyone's flinching at the fact that he says they can read minds?
Yeah, guy says I'm going to read the mind and see who's guilty. Does anyone blink or look shifty?
He's already read my mind.
He's been talking to people's brains for the last 6 months. How
don't like
do you
it.
guys react to the idea of him doing mass?
I wouldn't really understand how it kind of all...
This has got a whole Big Brother issue going on here.
I've been through this.
Future crimes and...
I mean, we already did this when we were figuring out, when the Mimic had infiltrated the council. Really, you're going to get squeamish about me violating people's sanctum of their minds now? Ooh.
Honestly,
that time-
no.
My only regret is that I couldn't get to that poor man up deck before he... That was so tragic.
Yes, I can see you're quite torn up about it.
He's fairly agitated now.
Could we just have a moment, please?
For poor Benetton.
For Benetton? For poor
Steve.
Benetton.
Nice one.
Are you sure you're not a bard?
And the Oscar.
The laughing does seem suspicious.
Yes, that is obviously something we can do if it's not a close range thing.
How does that
However,
work? How does that part work? Need to be able to see them, or
it's
just do the brain pulsing sort of?
We've been pretty fast and loose with how we've run Detect Thoughts in the past, but it is it only lasts for a minute, and then I can focus on a person and I can probe in. I can see their surface thoughts, and then I can make a thing, and they'll know, and I can read deeper into their thoughts. But I'm just going, if we're gonna do this, I can just take rests. I could we can file everybody. We can do this, guys. We can just file everybody up.
I've already told the captain to put all the refugees and that into one spot, but that's also assuming that one of them is the murderer. We did take this boat from a pirate cove. There's potentially a few stowaways.
And just at this point, I'm leaning back and putting my feet up. I'm like, if you want to do old-fashioned police work, that's fine. I'm just saying we got a backup option here. If we want to just cut to the chase and probe the innermost sanctum thoughts of everybody on this ship, and I'm a trustworthy guy. I can be trusted to just
utterly offended that you would think I would want to do this the hard way.
What have I ever done to give you the idea
I would like to do
that I would ever...
how'd you put that? Honest police work.
Okay.
You offend me, sir. If you can do it, let's do it.
I would check and see if my uncle was with the refugees that were locked away.
Well,
in
they'll
some
be
ill-defined
all woken
place.
up and put into one spot soon enough.
So yes.
So,
Well, tell me what you guys are doing. Start doing it.
well, he's got the idea, so I say we wait until I will ask some questions while I go upstairs, make sure they're kind of corralling the refugees and whatnot, and in character kind of ask them, so how does that work? Do you have to see them, or can you What if there's someone like hiding? Could you pick up that there's other people in here, like a?
You can pick up the
Can you tell where people are? Kind of like you go. Yep, there's 30 mines in there, so there's 30 people. There's
You can focus your mind to any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you.
So can you detect? Can you sense things that you can't see?
No.
No, you got to be looking at them.
I don't have a fucking cerebro. Hey, can I get a cerebro?
I was thinking more like the
We'll talk
alien.
about it later.
The,
Chronic had one of
like
those.
the
It was really
alien,
useful.
like the alien motion scanner.
He does, I think.
The correct's still there.
All right. Well, as we're hurling through,
We'll see. That could be a whole thing.
well, as we're
That
hurling
could be
through,
something that's been milling around in my brain for a little while now. Is he dead?
Yeah.
Is he not?
I can also, like, while we're down here, like, I'm, like, detect magic, see if there's any, like, weird shit going on at the crime scene. Oh, yeah, detect magic.
Okay. Aside from your various kit,
Oh, cool
there's
shit.
nothing magical down here.
Okay. That's
Oh,
my...
apart from the bits and pieces that you guys managed to recover.
That's the Leland equivalent of, like, whipping out the black light looking for magic semen.
It could have been magic blood, dude.
magic
No,
bodily
it's
fluids.
Leland.
No, magic semen.
Okay, well let's
Usually like, sunglasses on. Yeah!
It's like a Jackson Pollock in here.
I love it when Poppet speaks up.
Now, when you're scanning them, as exciting as it'd be to see, how many refugees do we pull out of? Or
There were a couple of dozen.
couple dozen.
now, as exciting as it'd be to see a whole bunch of lumberfoots panic and cause chaos, maybe don't incite the crowd.
Listen.
That is just a friendly
I know.
suggestion.
I'm
You
new
do
at this
you.
whole police game, doing like his whole Columbo, like one more thing. I know you're very concerned about us, like checking these refugees. We should probably check the hammerheads as well. I think we should check the hammerheads. Why are we immediately overlooking the hammerheads in
Why
this?
not?
Cool.
What are you doing at the moment?
Just listen to that.
You're
If
locking the
listening
refugees
up,
away
give
for
me
their
a perception
safety,
roll while you're-
Well,
but
we've
you're
only got,
intending on scanning everyone on the ship, yeah?
we've only got like a few guards, so if it's one of them, then at least they're all in one
Perception
spot and they
is
can't do something if it's...
Cool.
Just going to do a perception roll while you guys were chatting.
It's just taking...
The advantage of someone who's not talking is they can listen out to things.
We're just
I'm really bad at it.
removing options.
Actually, you can do one as well, Trev.
Yep.
Because these two are having the discussion, you can listen out to the other thing.
But perception... 22.
22. Okay, what you can hear upstairs is the captain's back up at the taken back over at the steering. You can just make out that he's talking to the guy that was taken over at the time. It's like, I told you to keep on this bearing, this bearing right here, and you can hear the guys just responding back. It's like, I kept it going straight. I haven't veered at all. This is the direction we've been going.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
And
Captain, there is a problem?
you're heading upstairs to talk to him because you guys are downstairs. You just made.
All right, I'm
with a
thinking.
really good-
I'm thinking stairs like stairs up to where the thing is, like stairs.
We're
like
squabbling over
yeah,
the
okay.
logistics of how we're going to mind interrogate everybody on this ship, and you're off doing this.
Yeah. So you're heading up there. As you head up there, you can see the captain is basically out there at the tiller arms, just like pulling it backwards and forwards. Like he pulls it towards him for a bit, and then just watches the compass, like taps it a few times. He's like, oh no. And then pushes it all the way back across the other way, and just watches the compass. And it's like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. And then turns to the other guy and is like, what did you do? What did you do? And the guy's just responding back again and like, I just held it straight. I was following this perfectly, and at one point we hit a bit of a wave, and I don't know what happened. The whole, I just kept it straight. That's a conversation you see as you make it up on deck.
Captain,
I don't want to panic you. I'm not going to say this too loud. Just we've lost steering.
we have 3 murdered people, and we are not in control of the ship.
What?
Some number of murdered
And if our
statues.
speed drops like 50...
The boat explodes.
I mean, that'll happen if you get a Benson tied up in your rudder.
Oh, I wish I'd thought of that. Oh,
There's
man.
still time.
Get below it, he's just like stuck in the rudder.
I'm just really badly drowned.
Help! Help!
Yeah, he's just like, something's disconnected between either broken or either if the rudder's out or some connection between steering up here and there is broken. I don't know, but we are currently off course and, well, we're going to start sailing in circles.
Do you have men that can repair a rudder?
I only had a handful at best, 4 or 5 people that even knew how to sail, let alone repair ships, before we even started, and 2 of them died in the combat in the caves.
Gather up who you can and
This has been
then set them to work.
this has been bad trip, guys.
Ships every time.
What are you talking about? This is
every time we go on
This
the
is
boat.
a standard.
As with every good horror
Standard thing
movie,
for
I'm
us.
also going to leave the group.
Wait,
Split the party.
We can't split the party very far. We're on a goddamn boat.
Ryan.
Oh,
Be
okay.
surprised.
If you kill my character first, that's racist.
That's actually true.
So you should do it.
You're on notice.
Well, here's a question. Are you a virgin?
Oh no! No, we've talked about the spider orgies many times before.
They are canon.
Poor puppet.
Effing chat.
He was too young for this one. No, he's just going to go to the room where all the people are holed up and just keep an eye on things.
Or the
Yes.
the refugees.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm assuming we're like kind of arguing as we go towards that refugee thing. Like,
I don't know what they're doing. They're
Do you
having
work,
technical
Magic Man?
conversations. I don't do technical.
You basically start walking up to the refugees, and most of them are sort of they're in one of the larger one of the larger areas of the hold. They've sort of slung up some makeshift hammocks and bits and pieces like that. A few of them are sort of chatting between each other, and it's like I saw one of the military guys just jump straight off the back of the boat.
Keep bringing that up.
I think his name was Benson. He seemed like a real devout guy. Like he spent most of the afternoon praying, and then, well, off he went. And a couple of others. At one point there, I think your uncle is there at the time. He's talking to a couple of other ones, and then sort of stops for a moment and is like, "Do you feel that? Feels like the boat's just sort of constantly leaning one way."
This man knows his boats.
He's a man of money. He's probably been on a boat or two. Look, it feels like we've been turning for a while now.
I think the term you're looking for is listing.
Essentially, is just
Yeah.
you're running slow circles. So, and he looks up at you. He's like, young monk, what's going on?"
Well, just dance.
Guess who completely forgot about
aren't we? We're all 3 of us there, aren't we now? Because we went there.
Prophet just stands stoically
Well,
by
I
the
think
door.
you two were. He went upstairs.
Yeah.
He went to check in on the refugees while you guys were still
Yeah.
planning.
I bet at some point we'll go, well, come on then. Talk on the way
Prophet's
over
just
there. So
standing
at some point,
stoically by the door. He'll just nod and bow at them and just
Okay.
keep standing by the door,
And he's like,
looking around.
look at you, he's like, what's the point if a cop who doesn't talk?
Taps his head. He's a thinker.
who can't communicate his ideas.
Roll insight.
He knows that's a lie.
Even on a roll of 2, he knows that's a lie.
Prophet's confident, damn it.
You can feel this too, right? You can feel the boat tilting.
He'll slowly nod. Actually, I should probably roll to see if I feel that. Might be.
Now that he's sort of, as he's sort
Now
of
he's
saying
pointed
it, you can
out,
sort
you
of,
can kinda
you
tell
start
it's a
to
bit-
notice it. It's like you're not noticing your nose until someone points it. No,
I guess Prophet is a monk, he would know about balance and things.
yeah. You do sort of feel the shift in
yeah.
balance as you're moving, but yeah, it's
Calm demeanor.
you two having your planning meeting as you're walking down the corridors, West Wing style.
Also, your uncle's very rude, and I am going to hold it against you.
It's a pretty shitty family all round. I really can't be too upset about that.
Bad apples all the way down.
What's your final plan? Are you doing
Well, they're all in that one spot now, so I'll let
all
him
the
do it.
refugees are there.
Get him to do his little scanning thing, and we'll try and remove one group of potential suspects and kind of move on. I mean, as I'm walking down there, like, Because we know most of the refugees are too.
I just like I'll yield because it's not like that important. But I'm imagining the way this is going is like Leland's put this plan out there, like to mind read everybody, and you're like, yeah, mind read the refugees, and I'm like, no, I think we should mind read the soldiers. I think it's more important that I mind read the soldiers. I want to mind read the soldiers. Fine.
So you've won over this one doing refugees first, or just refugees and just
Honestly,
refugees?
well, I don't care. But if we can remove the easily killable ones out of the picture, then we could start planning forward of what's going on. I'm most invested in my own survival, as are you.
Fucked by whatever is sabotaging the ship, or going to attack our floundering ship, and I'm going to have no spell slots because I'm going to be things I do, Roderick. The things I restrain myself from doing.
They're gonna make me murder again. I mean, they're gonna make me murder.
If you can't do it over multiple times, if it's too taxing.
I need silence. Perfect silence.
Yourself,
Perfect silence.
then how about we keep them locked up?
Silence.
And we investigate the intruder option.
Well, we don't really know about the intruder yet.
Well, I thought that idea initially, like saying like. There's either that, like it's either something in the refugees or the Stoics. We did get this boat away from a pirate coat, and it wasn't really checked out first. We just kind of grabbed it and ran because of our bomb expert over here. Well, you were
It was like,
if I wasn't
Definitely blow up that bomb.
if I wasn't so close, I'd be very impressed.
So yeah, I like. How do we want to mechanically do that? I know we've done.
if you want to basically just
similar.
line them all up in front of you, and you basically do, because you can just. If
I
you
look at
glance
people-
across the room and
Yeah.
look at the surface thoughts.
And like maybe while we're doing that, we're like making it very clear we're investigating who's responsible for a murder. So like the idea, like the way I've sort of like run that before is questioning them about the thing makes them think about the thing. So that's a surface thoughts.
Yep.
Because it's a check to probe deeper.
Yep, and they know about it as well, right?
Yeah.
There's been an incident.
So
If you-
I'll
if
cast.
you-
I'll cast that, and we've got like sort of I think. No, only one.
So you've got
Detect
1 minute,
Yes.
and the question is, you're basically just throwing out there where
There was an incident below decks, and we're just investigating the culprits. That's sort of like the seed putting into their minds, and then I'm like giving them each the evil eye.
So you glance
The
across the
badger
room.
eye.
One of them goes. One voice is like, "I thought the incident was up on deck. It was that soldier diving off the back."
His the dual purpose. The reason why Leland suggested this in the first place is sure he's checking to see if anybody is a culprit for the thing downstairs, but the for realsies reason is he wants to see if anybody suspects what he did.
I like that. The next one goes across, and you get the surface thoughts of like, not murder, because you didn't say that. Incident. What are they talking about? Incident. Didn't we just leave an incident?
Aren't we all just incidences in the grand scheme of things? Is an incident by any other name just as... I don't know. It was getting poetic.
Where are you going with that? What was that voice?
I liked it though, right?
It was something.
Yeah.
Compared to the
Nick
thing that
Cave
happened.
by way of Dead Poets Society.
Next one is like, where's Franz and
Kafka.
I'm blanking on it.
I don't feel bad about these names because I didn't kill these ones.
Franz and Hiti and their boy.
And Rat Boy.
Poor little rat boy. I'll like make a note of those names.
Write them down now.
Just the growing list of deceased people on this boat.
I've actually got four. I've literally got 4 names written down here, and they're all 4 people that have died in the last 2 hours.
And I only feel bad about one of them. Shut up.
Do you feel bad?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
No, that had to be done.
So you keep scanning across there, and you don't pick up on anyone sort of anything that triggers is like a guilty thought.
Yeah.
There's some scared people in there because they've left a shitty situation, and just seems like they're going to have just a shitty situation in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
One of them is like, this boat must be haunted.
That's a good point, actually. So, like, that's like I've scanned the whole lot of them. All right, I'll turn to Hana. I'm like, I didn't get anything off her. They're all very scared, though. You should reassure them that it's all going to be okay.
What you get from Hana as you're looking over Hana is, I know what you did. That
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
that's-
I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen this dominate control thing before.
So more of
But
a
I'd be very
force
suspicious.
field.
I'd be.
I get that. That's what he gets.
Different.
Oh,
I
that's apparently a tinge of,
I know what you did, boy. Yum yum. And also, you'll get the great sense that I don't care.
Just a burning hatred and indifference. Just this deep, fury of burning indifference.
But
Do I get a chance to block that or hide that at all? Or is it
that was
just
surface thoughts.
Okay.
And
Really?
I'm not going to say whether or not that's actually what was the top of your head.
Yeah, I like it. That's
just
yeah.
what my interpretation was.
Or, like, just the magic's fucking with me because fuck this magic.
Or he's a paranoid dude who knows that, has a feeling that a fellow cop may work out that something is a bit dodgy, especially after the way he got woken up. Or
The way he feels he got woken up. Is it real? Isn't it real? It is real.
I don't think any of them did it. I'm gonna go now.
what's your next plan?
I'll just after it says after he goes like, oh, I'll reassure you, like bead the sweat. Ooh. Several guards be close.
I'm imagining the point where I turn around and got that flash. Like, I probably, like, there was, like, a moment of just, like, I didn't get anything.
I'd probably put that together and just like go, just raise an eyebrow, go back and go. Several guards will be posted here shortly for your own safety.
Meanwhile, up on deck.
And then I guess I'll go. Let's go upstairs now. Talk to the captain.
Up on deck, the captain is still sort of like he's pulling that the tiller arm backwards and forwards, like constantly just trying to see if he can get a sense of where things have gone wrong, whether it's like a chain broken down below or whether the rudder's entirely gone. He's trying to work out how far down the issue goes.
That's so cool. That.
Surrounded by enemies.
But he's getting a bit of a solid panic on at this point because it's a boat directionless in the ocean.
Can't you fix the boat, industrious human?
Who are you now?
He's Timmy Tim.
I'm the law-abiding police officer person.
Overcompensating with an overly chip attitude because I didn't kill anybody.
Or someone thinks that I did, but they're wrong and they're a big meanie.
I had nothing to do with those people downstairs. I had nothing to do with
That
those
is
people.
factually accurate.
That's
I believe him.
That's I'm not even lying.
This is weird.
So assuming at some point we come up and we'll get filled in on what's
Yeah. Well, fill in all the information you like, but yeah, essentially.
Essentially that rudder is broken, we are going around in circles, and I will make an attempt to, like, the mechanics of, because it's all connected, it's all physical, working from, like, the tiller to the rudder, just sort of
Things connected
work,
to the
trying to look
thing.
for where it's not connected anymore.
Isn't it?
fighting on a boat's bad.
Don't blow this one up.
It's our last boat.
I like how he adjusts his sleeves or anything. Like, nothing on my sleeves. Oh god.
Do we have a second smaller working boat that we can put onto?
You're like rolling up your sleeves to like fix a thing. Cards. I have no idea how those got there.
Get the car.
Keep a set of cards there for just such an occasion.
I use them.
All aces.
I use them to fix boats.
You will be surprised at the usefulness in my pistols. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I need some help with the accent, so that's fine. Share some of the load.
This has been great. I'm going to get you to use your tinkering with intelligence.
Yep. How does that work again? That is like half. What was it before? Half
So it'll be intelligence plus proficiency.
intelligence and proficiency.
That's pretty good.
Hey, that would get me to a positive roll.
But just. Well, it's no negative technically, so.
Well, for me, it's just my proficiency because, like,
Yeah.
baseline dub. 13.
13. Okay, so looking at this, it's a long arm, and then it's got a shaft that goes down below the decks, within the bounds of the ship. It's not going down the back end of it. Following that line down, if you head downstairs, if
Yeah,
you'd like,
keep following it.
you get downstairs. The bottom of that shaft has a chain looped around it that goes out the back of the boat, and then that is connected to wherever the rudder
knee
is.
bone.
Sorry,
The knee bone.
yeah.
It's connected to the
Effectively.
the leg bone.
And then hear the word of the Lord.
That chain, well, you can see where it would normally be connected. That has been broken straight through.
Ah,
A clue.
I think it's a clue.
Yeah, the chain is in two halves on the floor.
All right. So within the ship, it's just like two loose bits of chain.
Two loose bits of chain. So essentially, rudder is running it. Well, as far as you can tell from your position there, the rudder will be running free.
Yep. All right, but that would be repairable. Just like reconnect chain.
Potentially.
All right.
Do you have mending?
Nope. That sounds like a good.
Does anyone have mending? That's a magic, right? Magic exists in the world.
No.
Okay, if
I'm
you
not
want
that
to
kind
give
of
me, this would be
Public Shadow steps
coming
right
in
next to
tinkering
and
as well.
shakes his head no.
this is tinkering as well.
Oh no.
Come on.
Kaboom.
That's going to be 8.
8 total.
Just tell me what explodes.
Oh, that's not long enough for explode. How do you explode a chain?
Man, I
Hey,
don't
if
know.
anyone can
You
do
tell
it.
me. Paint me a word picture. How do I explode the ship again?
Okay.
It sparks up.
Essentially, you don't manage to get it back together because every time that the boat rocks even slightly, the rudder shifts and just yanks the rudder end of the chain back out of your hand. So every time you try and get the two things there and trying to find something to jerry rig as a fresh link to put in that space, anytime that pressure gets put on there, it's just like ping and it just flies back out of your hand. So you're struggling. You're having some real bad times and
Is there
struggles now.
anything we can do to HELP? How's that pronounced?
Hinder.
Help.
Help.
Help. Help.
Plays
Help.
help.
Help. Is there anything I can do to help? Because
That.
I can help.
Exactly that.
You can help.
I can help.
I figured
Is it mind controlling people to swim behind the boat and push?
I don't know what you're talking about, right?
You can do two things to help.
Okay.
I have
Well, you're
I
currently
will-
downstairs.
After like a couple of goes of this, like, no, this isn't a one-person job. Head up. I know what the problem is. Chain's broken. Need some help fixing it.
I can lift 1,000 pounds with my brain.
That's iffy.
I can
Can
try
he?
and tell
Can
it's
he?
a slide
Can he?
together.
You can try.
Can he?
and,
Can he?
hold-
Can he?
yes,
Can he?
you
hold-
saw
you can
him.
do that.
You saw him
You
fly,
can do that.
Yes.
and he lifted
No,
that
it's-
ladder thing for you.
Yeah. I wasn't actually there to see that, but
I can
sorry,
definitely do
yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Stand back.
The character would have seen
I
that.
cast
Yeah.
telekinesis.
And sort of,
Get it, Roderick.
Is Roderick? No,
you're sort of holding the rudder into place.
Yes.
Is that the plan?
I'm sort of like I'm figuring that like while with hands like it's going to be pulled away. I figure like the amount of force that can be exerted with telekinesis, I could probably like hold the chain in place. Like I'm not sure how it works. Maybe even like bend a link back into position.
That might be a stretch.
That might be a stretch.
This is more of a lifting than.
I was sort of figuring it was more like
deal.
moving an item
Can
rather than
we say
manipulating.
that it holds it in place enough for me to get like a couple of goes
So
at
I'm not
fixing
going to
it?
give you the advantage on this
Yep.
one now.
I also
This is
had half an idea of like getting like shocking graphs to like sort of arc weld it together. Thought that might be a neat
17.
17. Okay, so you managed to find like a
I'm a useful
coil of
wizard
wire,
now.
and as
It's
this
very
chain
helpful.
sort of being held taut by
It's
telekinesis
suspicious.
and sort of holding the rudder in place, you managed to sort of twitch wire through these points here enough to be able to hold that
You see
side together. Sorry. I want to give me one for the second chain.
Advantage again? That is 13.
13.
Yikes.
Okay. Again, sort of trying
We
to
can only
find-
turn left.
At least we can turn.
We can just keep doing it at this point.
all
Yeah,
night.
yeah. There's no time pressure on this. Oh, hey guys.
3 hours later.
Just like sailing into the focus. How did we even?
I regret nothing.
How is there even water in here? You get that last sort of loop of wire pulled through, and as you do, you're still at the. Where are you?
Stop there too.
I was
It's the
down
like
there.
hand. Boop 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 boop.
You're concentrating on this. I'm not going to worry about you. You're doing your
I'll
bit.
be up with the captain because I'll be telling her what's going on as well.
You're up with the captain. You two give me perception rolls, and this is hearing based.
Perception.
I
13.
imagine yours is.
29.
Yeah. That's why I said the hearing thing. You hear the sound of heavy chain just all of a sudden like loose, and then a heavy splash, and then there's a constant sound of just like, and then the whole boat just sort of like lurches forward. Actually, with that, give me dex saves, a lot of you.
16.
26.
I'm like, how? You look at me like you failed. I'm like, how?
No,
You're
what
a
dice?
rogue.
Dice.
Not a 13.
13. Hollister?
It's going to be 23.
23. Alright, so you three managed to keep your footing and just sort of like balance and everything like that. You, because you're sort of holding the telekinesis thing going.
Excuse me. It's boop 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 boop.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no.
Boop, 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 boop. But then also the boat just like lurches forward and you go flying forwards. And I didn't even cast it! And basically like crash like heavily, like almost head first into crates within the hold that you're in. And taking 5 points of bludgeoning.
Asshole.
But as it currently stands, the boat is sort of has lurched forward and is now just doing this slow, well, sorry, not slow circle, it's like this tight circle around the anchor chain that's been dropped.
Have I mentioned I hate boats? I hate
I'd imagine
boats.
while they're repairing, I'll say, look, did the thing, like, shoots at the refugees, and then the anchor kind of goes up. It's like, is there sabotage on board?
The mystery is somewhat solving itself around you as everything's fucking falling apart.
I go, well, to the captain, where's the anchor? Where's the room for that?
Front to the right.
Grab you and
Throw him!
it's all the quick on the anchor up.
Here you go.
You can fly, right? Or run to that
Land
right.
really softly on water.
Yes.
Oh, we do like dash and then the record action dash like as quickly as possible.
Is the anchor room upstairs from where I am? Because I was down at the...
Oh, you down there? Oh, so
He's
the upstairs.
downstairs.
Yeah. Well, if I run down after going that
But
way,
I'd probably run up
You'd be
or
going
run
on
to
deck.
wherever the...
Yep. Okay. Don't know if I go past him at all. Okay, cool.
But,
I'll run up because something's happened, but
and you too.
and then chase after you
Pulling
And
bits of
outpace you.
crate out of my hair.
and get there before.
Actually, keep forgetting. As I'm doing that, let's go saboteur on the board, anchor room.
Anchor room. shadow step as far as I can towards the anchor room.
How long did
'Cause I have to
doing
forget
that
that
whole
bit.
repairing the chain thing take you?
About 10 minutes all up. Why?
Because telekinesis lasts 10 minutes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that. I'm not going to be like clever on this. I just put a
I was
guess.
just wondering if I could still use it to fuck someone up.
Is it
I don't
light
like being
enough?
thrown into fucking boats from inside the boat.
By exception.
Pick, like, telekinesing, like, the bits of, like, crate out of me.
Okay, so you two are downstairs. You're up on deck. You're with amongst the refugees.
Sorry, no, I wasn't amongst the refugees. I was with them at the...
Oh, you were down with the
Yeah.
steering?
Chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, go to you
No,
start
we're
heading
heading
towards
to the
towards where the anchor was dropped.
Yeah, but maximum speed, like the dash action, then bonus action dash
Maximum
stuff. Yeah.
method.
What does Misty Step look like? Do you just disappear, or
I shadow step.
He goes through shadows.
so
So
it's,
if it's dim light or shadow, I just disappear and reappear.
like walk into a shadow and then
And
just
just
sort of like
appear and-
fade away
Yeah.
and
Like
Melt
the
into
Homer
the
Simpson
shadow.
in the bush
Fly
type
to
thing.
another.
yeah, okay.
There's a character in, like, an old cartoon called Skeleton Warriors that could do that. I always thought it was really cool.
Skeleton
You
Warriors.
remember
I
Skeleton
do
Warriors?
not remember that one.
That one was cool.
I
The
probably
bad
not.
guys were skeletons.
I could have
What
put
was
that
that?
together.
Like a stone
Genius.
inside them to get. I vaguely remember that one.
Oh, I
it was
do
on,
not.
like early high school. I feel
Probably about then, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be one like
I
I'll
was
see
only-
like the intro
This is
theme
before
on
our
YouTube and
I
like
was only 10
memories
then,
will
so
come
you just been
flooding
born.
back. Like the fucking backpack shit.
When I finally I remember from like childhood. Like I remember there's like little tiny bits of like the intro song and like one scene, "Mysterious Cities of Gold."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You know, I was fucking knew you were going to say that because same goddamn thing.
I knew one little scene, like a little bit from the intro song,
Yep.
and one scene which is like a kid like activating a sliding lever through like a golden ship. It's like using his body weight to, and that was all I can remember. And I
Yep.
found the fucking show, and I was so happy.
And then you
And
watch
then
it,
I
and
watched
it's
it,
like,
this is really bad, like late 70s, early
so
80s
bad.
French cartoon.
Yeah. It wasn't even selling like cool toys.
No,
What's the point of even being a show then?
Skeleton
it
Warriors
actually had a
cool-
story.
Skeleton Warriors had cool toys.
Excuse me, if it's not selling something, it's pointless in our society, thank you very much.
It's true.
The bad guys were all skeletons.
Available on iTunes.
I went on a fucking tear today about goddamn Bumblebee.
The new movie.
I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that's a thing, and I see ads for it.
Are you
makes
gonna
me
watch
actually
it,
mad.
or-
No. Somebody was asking me about going to it. Like, I thought it'd be a thing. I'm like, fucking Bumblebee. Like already the Michael Bay Transformers. No. Just I'm not giving that another break. But fucking Bumblebee. Like I'm of all the fucking characters to survive that animated movie in the 80s, they decided Bumblebee was the one that didn't die horribly. Fuck Bumblebee.
What about Rodimus Prime?
Rodimus
Well,
Prime is
they
best Prime.
introduced him in there, but all of the Gen 1 characters died, except for fucking Bumblebee.
Bumblebee was cool.
No, he was the shit one. He was the shit one, Ryan. He was the one that was bad at things.
Hook, line, sinker, copy of Angling Times.
You don't need to wind him up on this. He's pre-wound with this one today. It was like 20 fucking years in the making, apparently. Fucking Bumblebee. Jesus Christ.
Someone call HX, have a stroke!
Okay, so you're heading towards the anchor. Once you guys start making your way across, like, because you're on the sort of lowest tier of the boat, you start running across, heading up the stairs into the second tier. This is one where if you look off to your right, you can see where the dragon turtle sort of ripped through the side of the boat. You can see a little bit of the moonlight coming through.
Turtle.
It's fucking turtle.
Fucking
It's
turtle.
always going to be the turtle. Give me perception rolls.
Hey.
Just those two?
Of the three, all three of these, you're not.
No. No. I got a 5.
I got a 21.
24?
I've trained them well.
Is that a
Use your eyes to see things.
I'm trying.
No,
Do I need glasses?
Probably.
24.
Everyone else has
They
glasses.
are real strong.
Oh no, I was good all along.
if these guys,
Are you okay though?
if these guys help out,
Literally, you only put glasses. Didn't realize that.
Welcome to Nerd World.
so if these guys help you,
They're
God have
dirty,
mercy
I'm
on your soul.
Oh, hang on.
He's probably the most mild out of the lot of us.
Okay, you need glasses.
Ooh, okay.
This is what the world looks like. I'm so
Don't
sorry.
go to torturous, my friend.
This is why we don't wear glasses.
Yeah. People at home, you're lucky this is a podcast.
That is a look,
Not transition to YouTube.
that is a look of shock on your face. Like, oh,
What have I done?
But yeah, what you two spot is, again, you got like
I perceived something.
you got this nearly full moon going on outside. Just so you know, the moon in
Yeah.
this sort of setting has its
there's a reason why I need this boat back on land quickly.
the moon has been at some during the whole apocalypse thing was actually hit by a passing meteor. So like half of it is still sort of intact. The other half is just like shards of moon that still sort of orbit in the shape. So it looks, well, it's a little bit on the nose, but it actually kind of looks like a wolf's maw. It's like these long, sharp shards of moon that sort of rotate around it like this. And so yes, it's the phases of the moon are referred to as how many teeth are bared.
That's real cool.
That's baller.
So that's how the moon looks in the setting, and you're looking at about 4 teeth at this point of 5. It's almost a full moon. But what you do see with it's a pretty moonlit night. You see like a shadow pass and sort of blocks the moon, the moonlight for just a momentary second as it sort of passes, going from your left to right. And at first you think it must have been like a cloud or something flying past it, but then sort of realise it's something that's passing over that gap, something clying on the outside of the boat.
Send the monk out after it.
Did I heal any when we were sleeping?
Sorry?
Did I have any healing when I was sleeping?
But you didn't get long rest territory.
No.
Did you say you were using any...
I thought
No.
I thought there was like a.
You
You
didn't
said,
short
you said
rest
I had a
earlier.
short rest. You said the other guys had a long rest, right?
we haven't had the
Okay.
enough time for it.
Been enough
There's
time,
been
yeah.
interruptions all along the way.
I thought that was a thing. I thought I specifically didn't get a long rest because I was freaking out all night. Oh, never mind.
People tried to. This is still the night time. This has not
Yes.
been the 8 hours.
Has not been.
How are you
long.
doing?
I'm alive.
Cool.
It's fine.
Just roll 20s on your death checks. every
Everything's
time.
fine.
You're invincible.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys both noticed that. You didn't.
What?
Yeah. And Goider's up towards the front of the boat, so he didn't see it either.
He's gonna get ambushed by whatever this nightmare creature is he's thrown at us this time. It's another turtle, isn't it? This time a dire turtle.
Hope it's going
What do
to.
you think it's
Some kind of ninja turtle.
What do you think a dire turtle looks like? In your head, what is that? Is it just a wolf with a shell?
No,
That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Poppet is going to ignore Hollister, tug on Leland to get his attention, fingers to mouth, and then point up.
What's that, boy? Timmy fell down the well.
Close enough.
Not knowing what you're talking about, I'm gonna go stick my head out of the hole inside of the ship and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You poking your head out the
Yeah,
thing?
And
I'm doing that. Maybe all this pain will end.
aren't you paranoid?
Yeah, that's why I'm looking around. I'm making bad choices, James. What happens, Ryan?
You get immediately beheaded. Yeah, there's worse ways.
At least we have a quick. For the listeners at home, Ryan is very carefully scrolling through his iPad right now in a very disconcerting way.
He's also smiling, so...
So my backup character is
Time for Ailer Leander, an explorer extraordinaire.
What you
Papa
see?
did not communicate very well what he was indicating, and I just stuck my head out of a hole in the side
Excuse
of the
me,
ship.
you take that back. Poppet is known for his communication skills.
Yes, he is known for
Hannah greatly appreciates
not
my
in a
communication
positive
skills.
light. What did I see?
didn't say
what
that.
does my elf eye see?
Half elf, I said. One elf size.
I said elf eye.
Oh, did you? Oh, I take it back then. That was a very good joke, and I applaud you for it.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Thank you.
Okay. What you see is near the fractured section of the boat. You just see this you see like a bunch of like splintered wood. You see some canvas and everything like that's sort of been pulled from the interior on the outside, and you see this patch of leather that looks like it might have been just like an old cloak or something like that, sort of just like flapping behind. But you don't sort of see any.
Oh, there's nothing out there. You guys are being crazy. What are we doing?
So yeah.
Should I roll perception,
You
right?
can roll a perception if you like.
You can't give me a vague explanation and just be, okay, cool. That's a 17.
That is
A monster.
That is what you see.
It's a monster.
That is what you see.
What?
You
Leather?
see this whole that scene as I described.
Yep.
You see this sort of leather cloak thing that's sort of caught against. Well, it looks like it appears to be caught. Like I say, appears because as you start to focus a little bit closer, it lunges at you.
Shit. Don't ask,
18?
don't ask me what my armor class is, Ryan. Don't even fucking ask.
18.
Don't even fucking ask me what my armor class is, Ryan. I'm not in the mood.
Is this a reanimated Benson?
No, it's Bumblebee.
Oh, finally! Now it's fucking time.
So 18 hits you.
Hits.
I'm
a
is 8 damage.
What hit me, Ryan? Did I get the number of that truck?
Okay. What you guys see from your perspective is Leland sort of peering up around, looking around, and all of a sudden there's this dark shape just envelops his head and like upper shoulders. It's like an umbrella closing around the top part of his body.
What did Leland ever do to deserve this?
No, this doesn't feel
Oh,
very
wait.
unusual for Leland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, the thing.
I'll write the murders.
All the murders, yeah.
Your current
Sometimes
situation
you
is
get
you are blinded and unable to breathe.
So, what's the catch?
In a panic, so there's like a thing wrapped around my head.
Head and sort of up the upper shoulders.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Shocking Grasp on whatever is touching me.
Does that have a?
It's a melee attack. Melee spell attack.
Does it have any vocal?
Does it have a vocal component?
Let's find out. Yeah.
Now you can do that, but it is going to bring up the Constitution checks for running out of breath a little bit sooner.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You can do that.
Attaboy.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was. Yeah, no, okay. So it's an attack. I gotta make an attack.
Against
Do I get an
attacker?
advantage on the thing wrapped around my head?
I think that might just discount the fact that you're blinded. So the advantage, yes, and then blinded, disadvantage, so it gets you back to a normal roll.
Just fucking math me to death, Ryan. It's fine.
It was 2 things.
Okay, well I got a plus 9. 17.
That hits.
And it is. I'm electrocuting the thing that is wrapped around my head right now. This is a bad idea. Let's be clear. 2d8s.
All our ideas are bad, just FYI.
8.
No, I've had some pretty good ones.
So 8 damage total.
8 lightning damage, if that makes a difference. Is it weak against lightning type attacks?
It doesn't appear so. So it takes 4 damage.
Because it's clearly a flying type, is what I'm saying.
It takes 4 damage, and you take 4 damage.
Why did. What?
It's attached to you.
Can I tame the plastic bag?
That's an actual part of its rule.
I hate you, Ryan. I didn't mean that. You're alright.
Okay.
Does it come off my head? Do I have a moment to do another thing?
Yes.
I'm going to telepathically say to Poppet, get this off me, get this off me, get this off me, get this off me. And I don't use breath when I'm telepathically talking.
Okay.
But your mind's out of breath now.
So eat a dick, right?
At the end of your next round, you're going to start taking Constitution checks because you used a good portion of your available breath to cast that spell. You will be out of breath. If you guys can roll in for initiative.
Just fucking kill me. It's fine.
21.
You're actually doing the moral thing.
25.
Deary me. 9.
That probably makes sense. Anna?
18.
Alright. Pop it.
If I punch this thing, would that be like punching Leland?
Let's find out, shall we?
And would that change what you would do?
I actually imagine you got a bit of pent up rage of some of your team members, so maybe this is like a cathartic way just to
Did I pull my
resolve some
head
of
back
those
inside
issues.
the boat? Is that what happened? Or am I still half in and
This
out?
is
of the boat?
half in, half out.
Okay.
They can see
seems
enough of like the. You've got sort of your head poking out. What they see is like the bottom of your head, and then the shoulders is what they can see. So they can't see what the rest of is attached to you, but it looks bad.
Yeah.
Or I could just try to pry it off, but I'm not very strong.
That's what I did ask you to do, yes. And just
Oh, yeah.
just 100% to be clear, I don't have telekinesis up anymore. No.
It's been more than 2 minutes.
Alright.
I will run up and try to start prying this thing off.
Strength check, please.
I was hoping it wouldn't be that.
Why would you think it'd be anything but that? Intelligence check there. And then you look at it and you go, I can't do that.
That's even worse.
I know. At least you'll know it was a dumb idea by the end of it.
Oh, why is using my muscle strength based?
I fail.
What is your roll?
3 total.
Yes, you do. Got anything else?
I have a...
That's your action.
Yes, I still have my bonus, which is... That's
Yeah.
not a lot of...
There's not a lot of things.
Do I feel like you need more HP? Because
They have a spell called Give Someone Air.
No.
Fill lungs.
No, I don't.
Breathe inside creature.
I'm just gonna
Space breathing.
one of the...
No space breathing.
I didn't take
What?
an attack action, because prying it off wasn't an attack,
Nope.
I don't think. So I can disengage or dash or dodge, which seems...
Dodge it.
It's a plastic bag, to the best of my
And it's
knowledge.
beautiful. Start recording it.
At this stage, I think you're probably going to need some extra HP, so I'll just use my bonus action to take on a blah blah blah
Inspiring.
mantle of inspiration thing. Yeah.
It was your inspiration. Bling.
Yes.
You can't hear this,
Yes.
but
You're gonna
I have a wondrous appearance. You can't see a thing, but I look wonderful. Right now.
you feel reassured that
Oh no, I can't because you have to be able to see me. For that. So no, because you can't see
My thing
me.
is like touchy back.
Hey, your little friend looks beautiful right now. You wish you could see this.
And inside, it's just like listening to Charlie Brown's parents. It's like,
No, I'm just going to disengage out of confusion
okay.
as to whatever's
Holster. Shoot it, 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 shoot it.
I mean,
I should have just punched
I'm gonna
you.
shoot it. I
So
kinda-
next time I'll punch you. I promise.
You're gonna get killed by your friends.
like Leland had it coming.
To be fair, Poppet didn't kill him.
I think we're all a bit shocked.
Oh, that was Kevin that threw the guy off the cliff, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was amazing.
So what am I seeing? From sort of the thing flying and wrapping around his head. It looked like a cape to start with, like a cloak.
It looks dark and leathery, and now quite animated, and sort of has actively like enveloped his upper half, and
Okay.
is causing him quite some distress.
Okay, this thing is moving under its own
You see
power.
it sort of like actively respond to the fact it got shocking grasped. You saw it try to resist
Right.
the massive strengths of the monk.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like there is, acting against someone, and then there is like, you may have just not been able to pry like a wet paper bag off your friend here.
It's
I'm not sure exactly how
I'm
much.
gonna fucking die fighting my way out of a wet paper bag. The gypsy was right.
I had a dream that we did like this.
See, this is what happens.
The only thing that makes sense is run up and grab a hold of it in one hand, pull it away from him as much as possible, and put a shot in a bit that is distinctly not him.
Okay. Give me a strength check to pull it away at least some distance.
Are you sure it's a strength check?
You know, I asked this question.
This happens all the time. Nobody takes strength. Nobody takes strength.
It's a
Never
dumb
had
stat. You
strength.
never use it.
It's melee attacks, dude. It's melee attacks.
It's 10.
10?
Yep.
Alright, so you managed to pull it out a little bit, but not much.
Roll good on your attack.
First of all, don't tell me what to do. Second of all, what did you say? I
Gonna
can't.
die. Why do you think
I
you're gonna
can't-
die? Come on. You're just extremely paranoid and enveloped by some mystery thing, and
What's your constitution modifier?
Shut up.
it's possibly eating you alive. Who knows?
Nobody cares what you think, Ryan.
What's your constitution modifier?
0.
Definitely
My constitution modifier is
eating
0.
you
This is not
alive.
negative.
This is how it ends.
Not with a bang, but with a paper bag.
But with a muffled whimper.
Wet paper.
It may actually end with a bang.
Oh, this is true.
Okay.
Still with close.
So this is Pepperbox. Was that? So was the grabbing it? Was that interacting with an object, or was that an action?
It's an. But if you want to try and properly pry it off, that would be a full action. This is you just trying to get something to shoot at, but
Yeah.
you also didn't do that fantastic on the roll, so
Yeah.
it's essentially a nice little flavor piece.
Yeah. All right.
You're shooting it as if you were shooting it 20 feet away. I'm also not entirely sure whether you have close weapon fighting with your gun.
No, actually, I have a thing for that.
You do?
Yeah. Don't ask me to find it,
It'll be a feat that you
or
took.
it'll be a feat somewhere.
I got a thing.
See, he can save himself.
Not at all. But it's gonna be
Happens
funny.
every time.
He's got this new spell he picked up. It's called Mad Panic.
I love that spell.
I should have done this before. This would have been better.
Why would you ever want that? That's never done anything.
Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna
It's a heal spell.
use one of my actions just to get a shot off, and then see what happens. I think that makes sense.
Sure.
All right. Here is the good news. Here is the good news.
Love this so
You're no
That's
longer
also a
primarily being
misfire.
killed by a wet paper bag.
Here is the good news. Literally nothing happens as
That's a
far as you're
misfire.
concerned. You didn't actually get shot in the face. With
Oh,
that
okay. And
one.
misfire, you don't actually fire.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
a gun jam or any of those sorts of things. You rolled a natural one, which is a misfire on that weapon. It also means it's basically like clunk, jammed. It's going to take you an action to try and tinker that back out again. Is that correct?
I can take a reaction. Mm-hmm. I've got a thing. I can take a reaction, which for the sake of like the visual of it, I'm gonna say is like he drops that one into his holster and draws the other one.
Sure.
And I guess I'm taking another shot now because that one didn't do shit. Mm-hmm. My first misfire,
It's exciting times.
and that worked out okay. If that was a 2, that probably would have shot you in the fucking face. So, you're welcome. Oh, this is going to be a 2 now.
Well, your face is also the enemy, so it's kind of...
That is plenty. That is a 14 plus like 11.
Yep. Roll the damage.
That is 1d10 plus 5. 14.
14 damage. Okay, so you take 7, and it takes 7.
The moral of the story, always punch Highland.
Would I know that?
I don't think so.
I think there'd be blood.
So yeah, this
There will
bullet
be blood.
goes. This bullet sort of like pierces through this sort of thinnish leathery membrane, and then you hear like it hit something a little more fleshy, and just, so you can see just through the hole that you've created, like the side of Leland's cheek is just being like cut open and like bleeding profusely, and then this leather just sort of like reforms over the gap.
Ooh.
Just like a hole in elastic, just sort of re-closes back up again.
Sorry. Do you want us to keep trying?
It's not my turn. I can't.
You're done.
I'll say yeah for now. I can shoot the shit out of it, but that's probably gonna kill you. You'll be fine.
Maybe if I just punch.
Okay.
I'm at half health.
Sorry, what?
I'm at half health.
I can't.
Yeah, 19 would hit. And does another 7 damage.
This is the thing that is on me doing
It's
damage.
basically like it. You feel like this sharp, pointed teeth, like towards the top of your cranium, just like pinch inwards and start to like pull.
Oh,
like
it is eating you alive.
It's trying to like pull like the flesh and everything off the top of your skull back up.
Well, I'm gonna die, guys, because I don't have any spells.
And then what you can see, because you've walked up close now, at the top there's this barbed tail sort of like flicking around, which then basically like flicks down and tries to stab at you.
At me?
Oh yes.
I didn't do anything.
You shot the damn thing. 18.
That hits.
For 9 damage. Hana.
Please try and kill me. I mean it. It's the same thing.
So, would I know this fight's going on? When I heard it, when I seen like we did the flashing handle, I seen like light going off.
Oh yeah,
bubbles, yelling.
you've heard a bunch of like crashing and banging and a gun, one gun misfiring, another gun firing.
Because he fired last shot. Yeah, of course. So I'll like how far is it? Like, am I on that right side?
You
Like-
can probably get there in a turn. Let's get you there in a turn.
All right. So I just
Actually, running along the deck, which is where you'd be at the moment anyway, you get towards halfway along the deck, and where you got the damage section there, and you can see this whole melee going on. You see this like leather, like a crazy umbrella that's engulfing something, and a long spiked tail lashing at Hollister. You can see this hanging out the side of the boat
okay.
from where you're at.
And that's all I see is this thing striking at him.
You can see this thing. You can see like the shape that it's sort of. It's.
I don't see it. I don't see it in
You
his
don't
hand.
see him directly, but you can see like the shape of like head and shoulders underneath this leathery thing, and then Hollister basically being like lashed at by this tail. So it's yeah.
Can you let me know the next time it makes an attack? Because I have shit that I can do as reactions.
I would take a shot at it. Can I get down there?
You can jump down there.
Should I jump down there? Okay.
It's one level down, but you're jumping. You can jump through like that hole is like partly torn into the upper deck and partly torn out. It's like a bite.
Oh,
into an
okay. So
apple,
it's actually also on the deck as well.
Yeah.
Like okay, cool. Yeah. So I'll run up there, set going on rapier, and whee, jump down.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 12 for acrobatics.
Okay.
So do you want me to do that?
It's one small level of boat.
Okay. Okay, you don't want me to roll.
Oh my god. You're gonna roll 50 fucking dice and murder me.
It's already gone this turn, so he's got no assassinate. Because that would be disastrous. Like stab.
I do get sneak attack though,
Yes.
because technically it's being flanked.
Well, it is being flanked because he's in there as well.
So now that I've jumped down there, I'd kind of see that.
Well, now you jump down, you can see his legs hanging out the bottom of it. So it's basically like you put a heavy leather sack over the top of Leland and then pull it in tight. That's what this image looks like, and it's thrashing around with a spiky tail.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't know that's. I don't know if they noticed it and heard him as well, but I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. I think I'll just go for it and see if it's engulfing him. Like go for like the lashing tail type thing. Well, I'd say like that's clearly Leland, so I wouldn't slash at that, but I'd still try and. A natural 20. No, I was kidding. That is a 16.
16.
Oh, sorry, 17.
That hits.
Okay. 14. 24.
Jesus Christ.
35. 38.
Okay.
I'm dead.
38. That's 19. How much health did you have left?
17.
17. You're unconscious.
Yeah.
I hope for the best at this point.
Cool, guys. Thanks for trying to get me out of the thing. That was real helpful.
I was trying to do like the character wouldn't know turning you, so I wouldn't have any information.
Okay.
Yeah. and-
With
yeah.
this, you take this sort of slash at it, and you make this sort of cut towards the sort of bottom end of it, and as you slash through, like Leland's unconscious body sort of just like slides out.
Unconscious, shot, and sliced in two body.
You had someone walk into the ocean.
But when it happens to me, it's not fun.
Listen, put this into perspective. You're still alive.
That's the point.
But yeah, you basically like and just like land on the ground.
We saved you. You're welcome.
What else you got?
Well, I'm assuming that'll be
That's it.
kind
you're
of
done?
everything running there, jumping down, and attacking.
Yep. Leland.
That's a failure.
That's a failure. Pop it.
Can I use Cure Wounds on him? Will that do anything?
Sure will.
Okay, I'll
You-
use my last spell slot to Cure Wounds.
That's what Bumblebee would have done. Good work.
So you get 1d8 plus 3.
You gotta roll. You gotta roll it.
I have to roll it? Oh shit,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you're getting 4 HP.
Drink it up, my friend.
11. I rolled an 8 on d8.
Hey, I'm okay, guys, and I'm not in the maw of a beast anymore.
All right.
I missed my turn though, right?
That was the solution all
No, no.
along.
it was- Yeah, no, it was like I had a death save.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
death save. Cool. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hollister. This
All
thing is sort of
right.
like almost like a
around.
leathery jellyfish.
Okay, so I'll use a key to take defensive stance.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
How would you identify what the thing is? Like, what kind of role would that be?
It's a shit, is what it is. It's an asshole
Is it a
shit.
strength check to identify what that creature is?
Yes.
It is creepy AF.
Cool.
So, you know, just...
It's also not your turn.
Well, yeah. I was saying, like, how do you identify that stuff in general? That'd be nature or...
Nature until like I'll give this one for free. It doesn't look natural,
Assume so.
so probably not nature. Intellect roll to not to
Yeah,
go through.
that's cool. That's what I was wondering if it's like,
Yeah.
we should come to like, how do you kind of like...
You're a drow, it's a dark leathery monster. The two of you should just know each other by
That's
now.
a good point. That's a very good
Advantage.
point.
You made a good point, apparently.
Yes.
It'll
I'll-
bring
I'll
the
give you advantage
if you
on
do if you do an int roll, it'll probably bring the DC down a lot because of your heritage.
Interesting.
All
your
right,
uncle.
so he's free and he's
He's
just
out
sort
of
of
it
flapping
and
and breathing.
now sort of
All right.
breathing and going. I'm fine, guys. This is all good. Everything's gravy.
What's everyone looking at?
That doesn't sound like something Leland would say.
This is fucked. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go walk off a boat.
So it
I'm
is.
hung up on that part. That was dark.
I know.
You planned 3 suicides.
The murders. He planned 3 murders.
14 and 15.
Both hit.
Nice. So it is 50, 10 plus 10. So that is 15, 23.
23 damage on it.
Yep. And I'm also going to action surge.
Ooh.
So that is 2 pepperbox shots, bang bang, holster, and the cannon off the back. Yep.
Baller.
That's
And
a
actually, you know what? I'm gonna do fucking all of the things that I'm able to do.
Grip points.
I am going to do all of the goddamn things. One of those pepperbox shots, the second one, I will use a grip point, and I will make that the one that gives me advantage on attacks, which I forget the name of the one that is.
Gives you advantage on the next attack.
That is
Now, if you crit or kill something, you get a grip point back, right?
Yep. Okay, no. So it's So on this shot, I use a grip point to get advantage on the roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Strike it down.
There's your crit.
There's my fucking crit.
There's your crit to get your grip point back.
Crit for the grid.
Nice. And so that is going to be.
Is that 4d12?
A billion.
That's going to be 4d12.
It's the one with the 12 on it.
That's the one with the 12 on it that says
two of those
12
dice.
right there. Yep.
Big bada boom.
It's gonna be
Big bada
a
boom.
fucking baller one.
Well, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And 13.
So we're looking at
21?
21 so far.
21 plus plus 5.
It had 25 hit points.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah,
Bang, bang, kaboom!
and here this is basically a big cannon shot. This thing here is just sort of like 4 or 5 points of contact around the hole in the hull of the ship, and it's just from your perspective you can see that it's stretched out like a leathery umbrella. In the center is this circular maw of like sharp teeth, a little bit like a lamprey sort of that sort of like circular mouth. It's like opening up to basically ready to lunge at the next person, because it was up next in the initiative order. Your bad news shot just hits it right in the middle of the maw, and
Guess what? It was bad news.
it was bad news. You can just see this opening in the back, and behind it you can just see like it's framing the shape of the moon behind, just through the hole, and then the leathery outside just starts to like tear towards the outside, towards the outer edge, and this thing just falls off the side of the boat.
Lean over the side. I wish I had a cool line for this.
No ticket.
The moment's a little bit ruined by Leland throwing up on his hands and knees in front of the hole.
Can I roll to... So I just roll...
For the sake of rolling.
So I know what it is.
It is.
What am I just adding intelligence?
Sorry?
I'm just adding intelligence?
Yeah.
22?
It's a cloaker. It is something you are familiar with in the Underdark. Hell, you could probably even talk to it. They are known for
this diplomatic.
They are known for being particularly stealthy, especially in the dark. They hide themselves usually in like cave roofs or in dark areas, remaining quite stationary for some time until something drifts close enough to grab hold of. They are also
Some stupid idiot thing grips close enough for it to grab hold of.
I stick my head out and have a
they
look.
are also intelligent enough to follow
That was you.
basic commands.
That's my question. Would it do this by itself, or would it do this... Would I go,
Like
oh,
outside
yeah, or would it be like
action.
under the... Or realistically, like, people would tell it to do something and it'd go off and do
What
it.
you would think is this one here would have been left in the boat in case, in this exact scenario, someone took it over, it would shut the boat down. That would be enough of a command. It would go around and make sure the boat doesn't get away.
Because how would it know that the boat's being taken over by people that's not...
That you wouldn't know from the situation. But it
Well, no, like, it's...
is capable of doing what has happened.
It's intelligent enough to do this, but it doesn't have its like own will to like decide for itself. But it's smart enough to figure out what to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Essentially, it's a living booby trap.
It's a monster.
But yeah, it's an aberration from the Underdark.
Hey, James. You didn't try and use your ring on it.
I did mention it to Goida though.
Oh, I'll tip a slight hand to get the ring to stop the ocean. I said, you're doing it. Like, grab it straight away.
You solved my murder on the fucking...
Orient Express.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And we solved it
Well,
with
there
more
could still
murder.
be more murders. There's still the 3 dead people. 4 dead people.
Well, clearly that was done by the cloaker as well.
Yes?
Thinking on that, would the cloak be able to...
Hey,
Suckers!
What?
You're still paranoid for a while yet.
I said clearly whatever happened to Benson was done by the Cloaker too.
Probably not. Yeah. After that, there's probably still someone on board.
And that was this week's episode of Heimdall's Watch. You can get in contact with the crew via email at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com or check us out on Instagram at isolatedcitygaming.